if you do the truffle shuffle on screen.
I've honestly never even seen the Goonies.
Well, all you do is jiggle a little bit. You'll be fine. You'll do a great job.
Hey,
You'll
here,
nail it.
I'm jiggling.
We're jiggling. So, once again, we're here with Tape Eaters featuring Mateo El Distillero. We're whoring him out on YouTube tonight.
I'm a
The
whore.
highest bidder.
Yep.
He will do
We're doing
disgusting
that.
things. He will show us his rumored third nipple.
Oh, yeah, nobody paid for that yet. I had my shirt ready.
You heard it, folks. You heard it. Shouldn't take much. We'll tally up. And Matt, you keep a fucking mental note of this, and I will definitely try to keep a fucking mental note of it while I drink vodka straight out of the bottle.
Yeah.
One way or the other. We'll get you,
We'll
your comeuppance for showing
Finally.
your nipples.
Comeuppance.
It's about time.
God,
It's about time.
it's what I deserve.
Yakov, let me see the belly for 10. I can show you my belly. I don't have a problem with that. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
We really be in
I
this
want to see the
level of
tits.
horrors.
Does it look good?
We're really
Get it on
doing
my head.
it.
I showed
Yeah.
a little bit. Did you get enough profile? Do you need more profile? Ugh.
Oh man, that's wild.
Is that enough skin for everybody for the evening? Should we show
I'm
more
mi-
skin on this episode? Is all I'm
I
wondering.
miss it. I'm about to see it on. Oh, I'm about to see it on YouTube.
Take off your
Good
toupee.
look. The
Take off-
toupee is it's glued too tightly to my scalp. It won't come off. The toupee's not going anywhere.
Miss the headband.
I've got one on hand right here. Do I need to put it back on to prove a point?
Put it back on. You should put it back on.
This should go to a vote, because what? It should go to a vote.
So I want to say that we've got Mateo here, obviously.
Hello, everyone. Love you guys.
Flame Upon Herb is here.
What's up?
He's stoned.
Greasy is among us.
Hello.
He sucks.
Muad'Dib is here.
I
He's
found
cool.
to make him.
Black Baron. Okay, the whole fucking crew is here. Half of them don't talk, so it's easy.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, brothers.
Yeah,
Strong
there's only
beers, dude.
three
I want to tell you,
cards.
strong beer. Before you do anything, take note that I am on YouTube. Please do not get me kicked off.
Yeah, please.
I won't.
Seriously.
I won't. No. Oops.
You can go on from there.
I'm not saying anything except for, hey, brothers.
All this guy. All this guy.
I do too, but he's insane. I've noticed that. I don't have a
Well,
problem
I
with that. I
personally-
like that.
I thought that
I
was.
personally-
I thought that was an Alex Jones drop. Am I?
No, man. I'm Bert Stone. I personally hand select the finest quality products that go into Alpha Dong Boner Force 1.
I need some of that. I need
Fantastic.
some of that. I need some Alpha Dong.
Yeah, I need
Force.
that diamond dick stack like right now. Stat. Right to my brain. Where the fuck were we? So, I don't know. We were talking about bears. We'd be talking about Bigfoot. I do have plenty of content for the evening. Matt, do you got bear shit you want to step in to start us off?
I'll step in all the shit you want me to for $5.
I sent you an educational
Provide me with
video
content for free right
on
now.
bears.
We
Man,
could. I want to.
Have you guys heard of Philip K. Dick? I bet you have.
I'm vaguely
Never.
aware of the man.
Who's that? Did he write a cool movie or two? Or
Yeah,
books?
but did you see his video where he was being interviewed about simulation theory? And
No.
he's talking about like Mandela effect stuff in 1977.
No shit. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty interesting.
We should look at that honestly, because Philip K. Dick's actually a really good author.
Indeed.
Would you be into that, Mr. Yakov?
It sounds boring as shit to me. I'm sorry.
No, it'll be really neat because okay. So Philip K. Dick, if you guys didn't know, he was the man behind a book, but it was called. They had 3 seasons of it on Amazon. I know it's like Nazi shit, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's
What
really
gay-
interesting though.
What gay sheeps dream of, right?
Yeah, well, there's that. A Blade Runner is, I guess, based on that.
It's a really interesting movie or show.
Matt's going to produce fucking audiobooks for me. So there you go, Matt. Get to work, son.
Okay, I'll do it. Whatever, I'll do it.
Let's do it.
I was opening this bottle of vodka. My bad.
Y'all keep getting me the fuck off track. Did you guys know that isotope data from amino acids indicate that the giant ground sloths were not herbivores? Would you?
Yeah.
No, I did
you hear
not.
that shit? Because we were under the assumption when we were talking that they were all herbivorous. I think Maud was. He was indicating something else that I kind of
No,
didn't
they
even
were
go
they
into.
were huge. They were super predators. They could kill mammoths if they wanted to.
Where did you get this information from?
Completely disagree with that.
There was a Smithsonian.
It's more Manly
episode
P. Hall.
on
You got this from television. That's even better.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ice Age animals, Ice Age giants. It was great.
Now, the only
Just
account
look
I've
at the
ever heard,
skeleton.
there was one guy that theorized that they used their giant claws to flip over glyptodons, and glyptodons were the giant armadillo guys with the big round backs. They would flip over glyptodons with their claw and then jam them into their fucking stomachs to get to their
And
juicy
scoop 'em
innards.
out.
Yeah. So I did hear that.
I have
before.
to. I want to counter-signal you guys on this because iguanodons obviously they didn't have the teeth for meat, but wow, I completely forgot what they were called. I just called them a second ago.
Why are we talking about iguanodons?
I was gonna say iguanodons. Iguanodons were the dinosaur variant of the giant sloths. I mean, they filled the same niche, is what I'm saying. And iguanodons were completely herbaceous. So
Herbaceous?
I don't believe that.
Okay.
Her-
I can kind
herbaceous,
of see
yeah.
that. I can kind of see the niche argument, but at the same time, it's so far removed that it's like, who the fuck knows? But this is saying that actual data from, I don't know, wherever they're getting this isotopic data, it says that their diets were definitely not all herbivorous.
Yeah,
I was going to say, the only
No, and
evidence
this isn't
have
some like,
is the
wow,
party.
wow, new science, wow, I love science website. This is like a
fucking love
scientific
science.
journal thing. I don't know.
something you have to pay for.
Yeah, so it's even more bullshit, really.
Yeah.
I love
People
science.
there. I fucking love science.
I do too. I fucking love science.
I used to, at least. Ooh.
Jerry Bab sends $5. How is crypto? It's doing okay. It's right where I thought it would be. I was here last week. It was hovering around 50K, and I was saying that it's going to go up to 60, and then sure enough, it goes up to 55. I think it's hovering around there now. When it gets to 60, all hell breaks loose. When it gets to that all-time high level again, it can only go higher for the moment, and it'll probably go a lot higher real quickly. Then correct, as it always does.
It's kind of funny. I think it was Friday morning. My mom texted me. She's like, "I lost $30 on Bitcoin," and I'm just like, "Sorry, what do you want me to do?"
You gotta wait years for this
That's
sort
just
of
how
thing.
it goes.
You gotta wait. You gotta be willing to wait. If you're putting money into it, you gotta be willing to wait. That's what it's all about. So Asteria
definitely
says
doing a bit.
anything with eyes on the front of their heads are carnivores, and that's a good point. I'm not sure where the giant sloth's eyes are, and I kind of want to pull that.
They
up.
were-
at the front of
Well,
the
it
head.
depends on which direction
No,
their eyes
weren't.
point.
No, really?
If you look at the Ice Age sloth, they had eyes at the at the front of the head.
I
That's
mean,
not
it
what I'm
depends
saying.
if their eyeballs are pointing forwards too, right? Am I
Well, that's the
Yeah.
very point that carnivores have eyeballs that point forward because
depth
it's better for
perception?
it's just
You
better for
hear-
hunting,
you hear-
grabbing shit that's in front of you.
You want to hear some bullshit? I typed in Ice Age sloth eyes, and it showed me that fucking Sid the Sloth.
I
from
know.
fucking
I
Ice
could have
Age.
predicted that. I predicted that.
Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit, dude.
Whatever, dude. I don't give a crap about your fucking sloths.
No, I
We're
mean,
done with sloths.
Anyway, yes.
We did the sloths. Here's some news. Cryptid canine evidence claimed in Nova Scotia. A young woman in Nova Scotia fears that a cryptid canine, possibly upright, is roaming the province. She states that she had heard it and that there is evidence that bolsters her claims. The following accounts were forwarded to me. Help me, please. I need to know what this is. I swear that there is some
Please.
form of wolfman, dogman, werewolf, shapeshifter, or whatever you want to call it living in my home province. I heard them, and I swear I've seen them. I grew up out in a rural community in Nova Scotia, where the closest kids were a 10-minute walk away. We always had wildlife living in our backyard, from bears to coyotes, owls, foxes, even skunks and porcupines. I was very familiar, as my father was a hunter and taught us the sounds and tracks and even the awful smells of the life around us. The terrible, terrible life. I am at 20 now, and I live in a large town on the outskirts of Halifax. I remember the first sign starting around the age of 14 or 15. I would be trying to sleep with my window open at night during the summer, and I would hear these mutilated howls. I've never heard the likes of this before, which would terrify me into slamming shut my window, closing my blinds, and locking what I could around the home. I would spend time outdoors or walking home from the bus stop and see massive paw prints or sometimes barefoot human prints on the sandy gravel road. There were these moments of awful stench. My mother would always claim it to be just the coons in the compost bins again. But there was no way on earth that's what this was. I began to spend less and less time out there due to the feeling of being watched and unsafe. I didn't know what else to do. My dad left my mom, and my stepfather was a city man who thought I was simply scared to be out. There was one event 3 years ago when I was 17. We had a family friend who had a camp 40 minutes out in the middle of nowhere. And of course, being myself, I wanted to go and hang out with all my friends near my age. So we went. No cell service, no plumbing, all electricity was solar powered, outhouse, and all camp on a lake. None of my friends were there, and all the adults went down 3 camps off for drinks, and I was stuck with all the kids under 13. Free babysitting, am I right? Anyway, to the point, I had settled in and was reading a book with my flashlight while the kids were watching a movie on their tablet. And I heard the sound of someone in the driveway, the footsteps on gravel. I got up from my book and went to see if one of the adults from the group. But as soon as I stuck my head out the door and noticed an awful rotten stench when the sound stopped and there was no one there. I swear I'd never felt so chilled as I did in that moment. The hair on my neck was raised and I slammed the door shut loudly and locked it. That night when the adults were back, we paired up to go to the outhouse before bed. Of course, myself and the family friend were the last 2 out there. I had done what needed doing and was waiting for my friend. That's when the twigs snapped and the chills were back. I saw movement. A large, dark, almost black, dog-like shape was off in the tree line. I froze. It was darting around so fast. I wouldn't have believed the speed if I hadn't seen it myself. My friend came out of the outhouse and the latch snapped my attention from it to her. She was concerned about how pale I was, but when I tried to point it out, it was gone. Poof. We went inside, and all throughout the night I could hear howling and barks and sounds from the outside. It reminded me of the whole laughter sound from hyenas, but every so often there was this awful, deep, choppy howl of a sound no coyote could make. It wasn't the scream of a dying rabbit or the laughter from a fox. It was not natural. It was twisted. I tell this because about a month ago, I was out with my boyfriend for a late-night drive along the coast, off a distance from the city. While he was driving and we were talking, we both saw something massive. It was dark, almost black in color, dog-like in structure, and there was an awful, unforgettable smell in the air. We both were shouting and sped off away from it. I convinced him it was just a black bear, but there was no way. It was far too large and thin for a bear in the late summer. I know it was that thing, so ground sloth confirmed. Some gangly bear.
No, I think it's just an actual cryptid. That
A real
saw
animal?
her abandon her family and move to the city. And because of her sins of being a disgusting yuppie.
The city dweller sins?
Yes.
I'm actually more deep on this. Yeah.
So the second time we hear about cryptid is when she's complaining about babysitting children. I think the cryptid following her is a manifestation of her own regret.
Yep, I actually agree with
you ever
Buddy on
seen the
this.
movie Forbidden Planet?
Never, not once, not never.
I've seen it. I've seen trailers.
This guy's id manifests as an alien and starts killing people. I think her id manifested itself and is now dealing out punishment by gang stalking her.
I think the one thing that was interesting that was the laughing sound, like hearing that off in the distance. There's videos from like Indian reservations where you hear exactly what's described there, and I don't know, it's like she could have just ripped that off. That's easy these days, but I like the story. I'm willing to
Also,
believe.
I was gonna do a little bit of a correction for Muad'Dib. I love Muad'Dib, but every single sloth species has had like deer eyes. They always have like deer eyes. They don't have any in the front of their face. Sorry.
The
I
Ice Age
agree.
sloth does.
Well, no, they fucking don't. Prove me wrong.
Do one more cryptid canine sighting. There was a werewolf sighting in Glengarry, Peak 2, Nova Scotia. It was Sunday, March 9th, 2014. Robert McLean was driving home from a party in town around 2 a.m. in the morning when a deer ran across the road about 50 yards in front of him. A big animal chased after the deer, but just before tumbling into the crevasse, it stood on its back legs and stared into the headlights, its eyes glowing, and then was gone. This wasn't the only evidence that was found this past weekend. A local farmer by the name withheld found a cow dead in the field behind his barn, completely eviscerated with huge chunks of meat missing and large bloody tracks leading off into the woods.
Oh. So did the hunter find his cow's missing meat in Glengarry, Glen Ross?
That's what I was gonna say.
Thank you, Greasy.
Very Glen. Very rough.
I don't know what that fucking means.
Oh my god.
Are you trolling me right now? What does any of this mean? What the fuck?
Glengarry, Glen Ross. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't give a shit about this. I don't know what any of these fucking words mean. Flame, do you understand what these idiots are saying?
Look it up, nerd.
Never. All right.
Let me see.
Like,
Got a
it's
little-
Greasy. Besides, is Greasy trolling everyone else with me?
I got a little
Where is
bit. I got a little
What's
bit
up?
more breaking news we can go through. Just breaking. A ninja with a sword assailed a U.S. Army Special Operations unit in California. Was that? Who was that? That might have been Maddie. He's not here.
It was me. I had the
It's-
jihad.
Dude,
It
that was,
seems-
Um,
It seems
Elaborate
unlikely, but it did indeed happen. A man wearing full ninja garb attacked members of a U.S. Army Special Operations unit in the middle of the night in a California desert, setting off a scramble for safety and resulting in at least 2 injuries, according to police and other officers.
Okay,
so
base.
he slashed one troop with a one
Oh.
soldier with a sword
what you do.
and
That's what you
threw a
do.
rock at one.
I gotta take.
One at a time.
And it wasn't
It's,
special forces; it was just pogues that were,
It was an inside job.
patrolling around the camp.
Like
I seen
it was an inside job. They fucking sent fucking Snake Eyes.
I fucking Zawarudu that guy.
It was
It was
Maddie.
a fucking
Or was it?
internal
It
call.
was one of us.
It was him.
I did it.
The suspect had assaulted a victim at the scene with a sword and thrown a
I put
rock
the-
through a hangar window, hitting an additional victim in the head.
Okay, base.
I put the bujitsu to his ass.
Dude, that sounds like it was pulled off without a hitch.
Yeah, I
the,
fucking
he
waxed
had-
on, waxed off him.
the man
Yeah,
asked. The man asked.
go on, yeah.
The man asked, "Do you know who I am?" The sergeant said he did not. "Do you know where my family is?" The man asked. When the sergeant said he did not know, the person in ninja garb began to slash at him with a katana sword, the report states, adding that the sergeant's
Based.
leg and phone were struck. He broke his phone. That's funny.
What?
Based.
Dang. Not with those new details. That's,
What normies don't understand is our military is completely incapable of dealing with domestic threats.
It's true.
So
Oh.
I'm not endorsing this, but more people need to do this.
it brings to mind that like melee combat is, I guess, still viable in this day and age.
It is.
So like we got to take that
Well,
to
but
heart.
no,
To be honest,
is it viable because they just tased his ass and took him in?
It is violent.
he if he really could, he was going easy on him because like from the sounds of it, he could have slayed that fucking
It
sergeant.
takes you a full 10 minutes
Yeah.
to successfully
I agree with
draw
that.
your weapon,
And-
aim, and
and-
fire it.
yeah,
In
yeah.
those
Like
10 minutes, I'm on you like a motherfucker.
if I'm close enough, I have a knife. Like, yeah, I
This
could
is why
pull out your pistol.
This is why the UN had such a tough time dealing with the Rwandan genocide, was because there were just too many machetes. If we get enough people in ninja garb,
We had a machete behind every blade of grass.
right?
Who gives a shit? I don't care about that crap. I said it.
Yeah,
It's
I
my
know what
quote.
you're about. But
I know, but that wasn't actually his name. I was making a joke.
So
Sorry.
the only reason our military doesn't use sabers anymore is because it was deemed cruel and unusual.
Oh,
by
but
the
it was
Geneva
based,
Convention.
so it was
Dude.
based. So who cares?
So
That's a little stupid in my opinion because like you could literally like take half of somebody's head off with a well placed 45 shot, like with the fucking.
yeah, killing a man is
With
killing
a
a man,
fucking
and all these
sword.
methods are pretty fucking traditional.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it takes a tremendous amount of murderous intent to kill someone with a knife, whereas like a club, you can use like a blunt weapon, and you don't have as many like, because we're not wired to kill each other actually, and it's different. So if you have a club, it's easier to strike someone with a club than stab them with a knife murderously. I mean, I'm not saying for everybody, but for
It's
most
less
people.
graphic. It's generally less graphic until it's just like.
But
smash that
like
motherfucker
a blunt
in pieces.
weapon, like could do some serious damage.
Oh hell yeah!
Literally
I
pop
would
somebody
aim-
like eyeballs out of the head with it.
Yeah, man, you can
So-
kill somebody with a baseball bat.
So
Honestly, if you got like a saber and you got like a gun, you could like hit somebody like from the side with that saber and then just like shoot them in the head. Because
you can't
it's
do
like-
that when you can't do that effectively though.
I would,
Like,
I would like to
there's
do
no
that.
manuscript
what?
for that specific technique. There's a lot of like cloak and dagger
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's attested to, but for
Kinda
like
based.
muskets and shit, it was harder for them to figure out. Even Victorian manuals don't necessarily have
Yeah.
dual wielding or any of that shit. Speaking of clubs, they were rather effective because that was the main weapon of the Germans in Teutoburg Forest when they wiped out like what was it, 30,000 Romans?
You're goddamn
in the
right.
course
You're
of 3
goddamn
days.
right.
Yes, sir.
So
I fucking have what do you call it?
mostly just sticks and clubs.
Like those muskets were turned into clubs, basically. You know,
Yeah,
like,
they were.
fucking-
That's what they had a little
Yeah,
play at the end.
yeah, you
Anyway,
just-
would that kill a cryptid dog? That's the question.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, like, if aliens invaded, like, if they invaded, like, during the middle of the Revolutionary War and they just came down the middle of the battlefield, if, like, both sides just charged them with their fucking bayonets, we could have just, like, murked them all and not had to worry about it, is what I'm
Yeah.
wondering. And I'm using that as a segue into let's watch some UFO videos, guys.
Yeah.
Dope. I love
into
that.
watching demons.
I love this one.
Yeah, this is a very intense
certified
one.
head
Oh,
class.
look, Filipinos.
Let's take a peek at this.
Filipinos and gay demons.
They're saying it. There it is. They're pointing. Show me the way. Holy crap! Look at that guy go. The speed of that craft is just unimaginable. I'm fucking shocked and appalled, and jealous and everything. Let's go to our next
Faster
one.
than my wheelchair.
I love
Back
that
again.
that people can make shitty little videos like this of like fake UFOs, CGI UFOs in the sky, and it makes me so
again.
happy, dude.
We'll watch.
Play it again. You want to enjoy it again?
I want to enjoy it again.
Here you see it's anti-gravity capabilities at play here. You see this is the blaster. This is the gun that destroys Filipinos hanging down like a little
God,
pecker off of
please.
the craft.
Please.
I got no issues with Filipinos. Why do we want to just fucking murder Filipinos in the street? I'm
I kind
okay.
of do.
That Islamic insurrection in the Philippines is not actually Muslims, but these aliens that you just see right here.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of them. Let's move on
ISIS
to our.
are extraterrestrials.
Blast.
I kind of like Filipinos. Like I don't like them.
I don't give a shit about ranking races from best to worst. That's not what we do here.
No.
Let's move on to our next fucking UFO video.
That's not what I'm saying.
Flying saucer.
My favorite part about Filipinos is that they have Spanish names. The
Yeah,
Asian
no, that's
people have
funny.
Spanish names.
Let's watch this next
When
video.
I found
Oh
out,
my god!
I got two
dude.
things to say real quick. I don't have anything against Filipinos. I just want my uncle to come home. Second, I think like it's really funny that the Spanish actually colonized the Philippines. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, it was Ottoman territory. That's why they took it over.
My
because-
my dad actually spent some time in Philippines, but thank God he had his wife with him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you gotta go.
I would be
I might have been a Filipino.
Oh, you
would be like ping, ping, ping.
Oh, you guys are killing me here. I don't give a crap
Alright,
about
let's
any
go.
of this. Let's fucking watch
Alright.
a UFO video
okay?
before I blow my fucking brains out, dude. My fucking shit's going to hell. Here we go.
Beautiful. Damn.
You got a video from the cockpit. Beautiful view above the clouds. You see this thing racing. This fucking pod racer flying through the sky. Rolling
Now, this is
around at the
pod
speed of
racing.
sound. Is that Sonic the Hedgehog in a little ball? What is happening?
You should
What do you guys
post
think?
that. You should post that video with like the Sonic music.
I
Good.
think it's
That's very
it
interesting.
is a microphone.
What the hell does that
It's
mean?
very.
Is it a
So-
demon or not, Wad?
The origin of the word flying saucer was because during the early stages of the Cold War, the government put a bunch of balloons into the atmosphere that had high-tech microphones connected to them. And microphones at that time were called saucers. But they didn't want anybody to know they had this listening gear. Otherwise, the Soviets would have used that as a casus belli for war. So that's why when Mount St. Helens erupted, we heard it 3 times around the globe.
That's why all those
Mhm.
Bigfoots had to die?
Yeah, and when one of those balloons deflated and crashed at Roswell, the government covered it up by saying, "Oh, it was extraterrestrial in nature."
All right, so I feel like you're taking the long way to say this is a fucking surveillance drone. This is a super
Yes.
high-powered drone by the government for surveillance. Because that's
Yeah.
immediately what I was thinking. This doesn't look
Yeah,
fake at all. I'm sure this is something real.
God.
Couldn't agree more.
But
Yeah.
it's like so like they just drop to the earth like that. Wouldn't it be like just?
Well, you're not
straight
seeing
down?
it drop to the earth. You're not seeing it drop at all. You're seeing
they're
it just drive
doing.
straight forward. It's going straight forward. It's perpendicular to the clouds. It might be going down a little bit, but it's
It
just
looks
traveling,
like it's
dude.
going down at an angle.
Well, it might
into
be,
the
but
clouds.
I don't think it's like. I don't think it has to go anywhere in particular. It can
Well,
stay
I
up
mean,
in the sky.
actually,
Might not even be government. It might be like, you know, these big globalist corporations have their own breakaway
That's true.
civilizations, and they're using their own technology to gather data.
Yeah,
possible,
they're
too.
mining out. They're mining out Jupiter's moons. They have Amazon has a mining facility on Titan.
You know, that's actually one thing I wanted to bring up. Like, apparently, I was told by somebody, and I haven't fact checked this. Somebody fact checked this for me. That Google and Facebook actually got brought to the U. Oh, excuse me, sorry. The Google and Facebook got brought to the UN, and they're trying to make them part of the UN. Is that real?
Well, that sounds like something that would be mostly symbolic. The control that Facebook has was already granted to them by intelligence organizations, and that's why
That's
it
true.
exists. So it's not like they need more control. And it's not like the UN. The UN has less control over shit than Facebook. Facebook has way more control than the fucking UN. The fuck is the UN has only ever mattered when it said something that supported U.S. foreign policy.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's ignored 100%.
Yeah, nobody cares about the UN. Shut up, UN.
Community theater.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, it's all
They're
bullshit.
just mad.
you did forget that the UN, like, they facilitate the children.
The fuck does that mean?
They're
So,
the
like, a pedophile thing? A pedophile ring?
Children or the
of the
pedophile.
pedophile ring.
Yeah.
That's true.
Pizzagate.
They're the logistics arm. Not just Pizzagate, but like the Franklin scandal and the Beast of Belgium.
Tell him.
All over the place.
Anyway, but yeah, you're right.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit about the staircases in the woods?
Yes,
I'd love
I'm
to.
going to knock this out.
Yes.
Oh,
People want to hear about it, and it's a very interesting topic. However, it's one that seems to have been invented by like Reddit creepypastas.
Yeah.
Now, that said, it's like the best one. So I'm not hating on it at all. The idea is that like search and rescue people or people that work deep in the woods, that they regularly come across staircases in the woods, and they're not like, they don't like look like ruins. They're not like just a pile of rocks. They're supposed to be staircases that look almost like they dropped right out of a house, like a nice house with the carpet and all the furnishings and everything, and they're just sitting in the woods. That's the story.
There was one where it was said to be like one of those like classical staircases where it like wound around. You know what I mean?
There's one in France. There's a stone one in France that actually is the ruins of a castle. And when you see the pictures of staircases in the woods, what you see are that. You'll see a picture that is clearly a lookout over like a little swampy area. You can't really find pictures, but that's what you got.
There's one in Kansas actually, and it was a significant before they demolished the church, and they also demolished the church, and then they kept. Somehow you're able to still get to the staircase of this church, which was
I know what you're
awesome.
talking about.
Which
Yeah,
is Stole, Kansas, which is like a gateway to hell.
In the
Like if you walk down it, several days will go by.
that's what
You
they
could
say.
go down. You go down it. You go down it, and then you could turn around and be like, "Oh, that's weird." Then you turn around and go up it, and there'll be like cop cars outside, like in like search parties, like waiting for you when you come back because of like. But that's
the
was
story. And there's more accounts of that in different.
And
parts
there's
of the
another
world at
thing.
different times. But the thing is, this is how the current staircase mythos goes: is that you're not supposed to touch the staircases. You're definitely not supposed to climb them. It seems to be intertwined with fairy mythos about going to fairy world and being stuck there.
Well,
Shit like that.
this was
Fairy World's interesting.
this was a Stole, Kansas, which was a gateway to hell. Like apparently the Pope wouldn't fly over it, and like if when the building was still there, if you threw a glass bottle over it and you heard it break, that meant you were gonna die, like the next day or something. Or
That's dumb.
Well, there was another really
Yeah,
interesting because I was gonna want to do the bit because Flame had his hand. Like I don't even know. Well, where'd you have your hand? What were your hand doing?
Up in here.
So that was another thing actually, and that reminded me of it because I saw him do it. Another thing with the staircases in the woods is they're supposedly able to just like cut off limbs if you touch them. That was one thing I read.
I heard that part. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So let's cut to a video of a spooky staircase in the woods. I've got one all ready to go.
Cool.
I got it muted.
Something that
Ask 13.
a mysterious stairway in the woods. And that's tonight's Ask 13. Our Frank Fraboni joins us. And Frank, are there really stairs
Thank you,
in
Frank
the woods?
Fraboni.
Well, Tammy, yes, there are. There really are some stairs in the woods. We followed the directions sent to us in an email, and we felt like we found the stairway to heaven. Now, Rose Jones from Black Mountain in her email said, I am just curious as to where they go and why they are in the woods as they are. It's very unusual, and you never see anyone around there. These are the stairs that she's talking about.
Wow.
Take a look. Got to look real close.
Unbelievable.
Here. Just off the southern side
There
of
it is.
State 40.
Crazy.
Stairs, which
The
led to
staircase in the
trail,
woods.
real
This is
close to the
news.
Blue Ridge Parkway. We got to the stairs by taking Azalea Road and then going through a tunnel underneath the highway. The tunnel leads to
Breaking news. There are stairs. Stairs confirmed. Yep, these are stairs.
The cove.
Yep,
What
they are.
It's just a shitty little trail. They're just little crappy little steps on a shitty little trail.
You know, I was watching this Jeremy Wade. Well, no, I was watching this Jeremy Wade show. It was called Dark Waters. I think what
Jeremy
it
Wade
was.
is a fisherman.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Crazy, shut up. What I was gonna say is in God, what's that fucking African country that starts with an N?
Nigeria.
You can't say it. Don't say it.
No, it wasn't Nigeria. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so around these waterfalls of the major Nigerian river, they have steps too. So I guess that's staircases in the woods. That's what it looks like to me. That's what this looks like. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, one thing for sure is I have a story that occurred in the Philippines.
Okay. Do it.
And this actually, it ties into a lot of this stuff. I think it's very interesting. There was a ranger named Turkic. He was out on patrol one day, and he had previously heard about missing persons in the area. He knows there's a good chance that any stranger would mysteriously vanish into thin air around here, as the forest is thick and tough to navigate. Turkic continued his patrol when he came across two sets of stairs remotely located in the forest. They led to nowhere, and Turkic was rather cautious about them. Still, his curiosity got the better of him as he climbed the stairs to get a better vantage point while looking for missing persons in the area. The first set of stairs were made of stone and carved with detail. The other one was more rugged, made from random stones which formed into a staircase. He decided to climb further ahead. As he decided to climb further ahead, he encountered a stray dog not far away from him. The dog seemed rather vicious, and he didn't want to get bitten by it. For Turkic, the day was long, and he gave up, returning back to the ranger station. When he returned, he learned he was fired, and he had been missing for quite a while. As it turns out, Turkic left the ranger station 5 years earlier. Time passed differently for him on that fateful day, so we got the time shit once again. I like how when he goes missing, they're just like, oh, let's fire him. Let's just fire him. He didn't show up.
He's gone. Fucking.
Yeah. So I think that's an interesting story because normally all of these things are related to like North America. Mm-hmm. That's the context I've always heard from these stairs stories, and it's almost like an American take on like the classic Fae myth. Got another story.
My first thought is child trafficking.
Because I don't know about egg when they're like basically associated with each other.
What? Flame? What?
I was saying, like, don't you think that would be like an addition to it? Because it's just adding on to the mythos. Because, like, I mean, the Fae are still there. They're like, don't go up there. The Fae are up there.
Well, I've never heard the Fae specifically talked about in these staircases, except in speculation, not in any like original sources.
One question is, why would the Fae bother constructing stairs? They don't need physical stairs.
Well, we made the stairs, and then we extrapolate from there.
It is more, and that's the thing, is that I don't think it's literally stairs. I think the stairs are more symbolic of a portal. But I will say that in the classic Fae mythos, they definitely talk about Fae as if they have their own physical shit. That they have their own physical world. It's very similar to ours.
To their own proportions.
Well, but the stories about people going to their world, they don't really immediately see a difference between it and their own.
They're not shrinking down the size. Like the whole idea, they're being like tiny midgets. Like that's.
No, I mean, Maud is talking about a more corporeal form. He's talking about jinn. And jinn are like, I think explicitly from Islam, they're like explicitly immaterial.
So there's jinn is just an Arab term for all things fairy. So there's jinn that have corporeal bodies, and there's jinn that have physical bodies. Like the god.
What about like the smokeless fire thing? They're created from smokeless fire. How do you?
They were created from the secret fire of Samsung. So jinns and demons were created from the same stuff. Demons are more incorporeal. They
Demon
don't
to me
have
would seem to
forms.
denote what is essentially an evil jinn, because demon is a much more narrow term, but it in itself isn't very descriptive at all.
No, there's evil jinn. There's a distinction between evil jinn and demons, because demons literally eat souls and eat jinn and eat a whole planet.
An eat jinn? What?
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know
for
about
me,
that.
That's
You
what I
you
was gonna
gotta
say.
stop
Is
thinking that,
Well,
of
where
like
do elves and
it
fairies
fey.
belong here?
Well,
Well,
you guys
That's what we do DMT.
like
One at a
going.
time, motherfuckers. Mud is implying that Fae are a strain, a different strain of jinn, bro.
I'm saying
bro.
they are jinn because the term jinn literally just means supernatural
Got you.
creature.
Okay, well, I mean,
Well, I was saying like from all the stories from the lore, it even from both sides from the Jin and Western things that it's heavily implied that the like we constantly are thinking of like these magical beings as like they're magical, they're omniscient, and like all this fucking stupid shit.
Omniscient?
We give them too much fucking credit. They're literally have the same. So they literally have the same aneurysms that we probably have. Like they probably are have addictions. They probably have like
fat and retarded.
yeah, they're fat and retarded and stupid.
Wow,
and
crazy.
like they're basically, you know, like they have the same kind of sentience. They're just like in a different form.
Well,
Another
the ability to cross over to other worlds is something that's claimed by humans.
Yeah.
So it's like if that were
Yeah.
just assuming that's true, then there would be fairies, there would be this and that who are also capable of doing it. It doesn't imply that they all could. But
So are we saying that the stairs is just a figment of our imagination?
No.
And
Well,
it's a projection.
I think it's
the
basically,
fairy-
and maybe this is the right word. Like it's a typical portal, basically.
Yeah.
Portals
Yeah.
come. Many words are used to describe portals, and like I said, I don't think there's actual staircases in the woods, but I do think there's probably portals.
There
to
are
other worlds.
staircases. There are staircases.
Right, there's wardrobes.
There are staircases at the
Yeah.
bottom of churches that
Yeah,
people go
but
down.
that are like ruins and shit, and maybe that's true.
Yeah,
Maybe it is.
exactly. No, man,
And,
I think it's
hey,
more than true.
Right, I'm not doubting the possibility of crossing over to other worlds. It's something attested to in every single
like in
tradition and history.
in like shamanism, there's a lot of traditions going into the different realms of the reality, like a twilight realm, the shadow realm, where like the shadow people reside. These things are like heavily touched on. Now, if we could go into that realm, like we were saying, they could come into this realm, and then when they come into this realm in shamanistic lore, like these fae, you won't know that they're fae until you have an epiphany later. When they come up to you and they talk to you into your face, like you won't know. You won't know
that is how it works. It's almost like they have some sort of like spell that they cast over you, and I got more stories that actually imply that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that is a
that-
common motif that like when kids cross over to their side, they don't even realize what the fuck was going on until they return and they think about it. And like that didn't make any sense. Even the story of the kid who was abducted and he was taken to some cave with his robot grandma, who didn't even realize it was weird until he went back and talked to his grandma about it.
Well, I had a question for Flame. Hey, Flame,
What?
do you think these shadow people have cloacas?
Oh shit.
Pretty
Drink,
sure.
you drink it.
They have wieners.
I got
Peter Jack
Zamzam
boys.
water.
With the whole Stoll, Kansas though, like I grew up with that mythos. Like Stoll, Kansas, it got demolished, but
You been there?
Well, it's like
no,
Red Sea
I've
is
not
saying.
been there, but I know people that have, and like It's there's still that stairway down there, and
But it's like Red Sea is saying in the chat, an abandoned staircase could be chosen to become a portal because they have the symbolic meaning, and that's what I'm getting at.
But it was a
doorways,
church
staircases,
house,
towers. They have that.
Stoll, Kansas is still a place where the Pope will not fly over, like that, or maybe that's changed.
It's true. No, that's true.
At a
Are we seeing like a Bermuda Triangle situation going on?
I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you, they put that church. Okay, so the original mythos was you throw a bottle over the church, and if it broke, if you couldn't hear it break, you were gonna die, right? Whatever, blah blah blah. And there's a bunch of mythos around this church, and I think it was buried over something, or built over something that was like fucked up. It's Stoll, Kansas, and then they have several. I don't know if this before or after the church was demolished. That stairway is still there, regardless. But either way, there was tons of accounts where people would walk down these walk down into this. I don't know if it was like a whatever it was, it doesn't matter. They'd walk down into this like area, and then they turn around and walk up, and there would be fucking like search parties up there sitting there, waiting for them, because it would like they would go through a portal.
Do you think there's like a dome nearby?
I do not, dude. I have no explanation for it, man.
Actually, I know what Greasy's talking about, and actually the Pope will refuse to fly over this part of
if you
Kansas.
look up Stoll, Kansas, he will not fly over Stoll, Kansas.
Yeah,
and this has gone over for a long.
Maybe if he flies over, he gets sucked in because he's a fucking demon.
I don't know.
We still got strong beer in here. I want strong beer. Are you still here?
I am.
I want you to try to wrap this into human trafficking. Can you do that for me?
Well, the only reason why I say that is because when I see this, I see a physical structure that was built by fingers.
Uh-huh.
And so, when you're in the forest or in the woods, you may know it much better than normal people. And if you can have a way to have some kind of hidden pathway to get from one place to another, you can easily disappear.
That's for sure.
But you're walking from a parking lot.
And that would make it a portal. That would make it a portal. It is a portal. It's definitely a portal.
That's what I'm saying. Is
the question is, what kind of portal is it?
You come up from that. You walk down. You go, oh fuck, whatever, and then you walk back up, and then there are people with
it's
search
not that
parties.
I disbelieve you, but that this has.
I'm telling.
It's up in the air just as much as anything.
I disbelieve it as well, but I'm telling you, like, look up Stoll, Kansas.
I believe
I don't know. I definitely believe in elves and fairies and shit because I've eaten mushrooms so much that I've seen them come out of the walls.
Oh hell yeah!
But I don't know. I mean, when I see this, I see.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about.
Just look up Stoll, Kansas, man.
I don't. All right, I will.
I understand, Greasy. I'm with you.
It's a weird thing. I mean, I was just bringing it up. I'm not trying to like derail. I'm just saying like.
There's also several places. There's several places in the U.S. that refuse to fly over.
Yeah, but Stoll, Kansas is a weird one.
I know. That's one of yours.
Why
but
would
I'm
he
just
refuse
saying.
to fly over it is very interesting. I mean,
Because he's a fucking satanic retard. That's all he is.
That's not what. Like,
I would start to think about ley lines.
Yeah,
I think that might be the common bond with all of this that could start, and it won't answer any questions, but it can make sense from a lot of viewpoints.
The Pope not flying over it is like the cherry on top. That's not really what like makes it interesting. Like, it's interesting on its own without.
There's a reason why.
He works for a travel agency in fucking Kansas.
Yeah, the real interesting part would be the actual learning about the church itself, why it was demolished, why it has all this lore behind it.
Yeah, the whole.
You know anything?
Like I said, if you threw a bottle over it,
dude, that's not the lore, nigga.
If you threw that was the fucking like thing though. If you
that's his lore. That's his lore.
I'm saying like that was all I know about it. If you threw a bottle over it and you heard it like if you heard it break, you're gonna die. And if you didn't hear it,
over it.
well, all right. Well, look at. All right, never mind then. Go on with this amazing.
Like, did it burn down in a fire? Like, was
They
there?
demolished it. They demolished it.
Why? Do you know why?
I don't know why they demolished it, because it was a fucking shitty place. I don't know.
Maybe there was a demonic.
All right, well, I'll look it up.
Yeah, do that,
I
please.
think we should go down there for the Skinwalker's Halloween episode.
In the fucking church.
Kansas.
Yeah,
Let's,
would you be down to do-
Oh God, what the fuck are you people talking about? I'll show up wherever. I'll do content wherever.
All
You
right.
tell me when to show up. I'll be there.
Don't come,
Yeah,
don't
To
come near
visit my
me.
mom.
Come over my house.
Imagine in the future, like that's our thing now. Like we'd still do the podcast, but we show up to fucking random. It's like, all right, guys, all right, Yakov, I need you in Kansas by Monday, and fucking get all your shit together.
Let's move on with spooky content. I got fucking ghost babies, and once in a while I'm driving home. Coming home and I had a few drinks. I was at the Applebee's. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing really. It's a miracle I don't crash into a fucking pole, but somehow I take a wrong turn every time and I find myself down Ghost Baby Road. And damn, those babies are scary. I'm gonna take you on a trip with me down Ghost Baby Road.
Man, I would not drive down there.
Let's watch some fucking baby ghosts and shit. Look at this. Got a little critter, little boy, chilling in his crib.
He's a little feller.
Looking through the mommy cam. We got some orbs happening. Some spooky, scary orbs. I want you to watch the child's legs. That's the important part.
Okay.
Entitled Ghost or Guardian Angel, Invisible Force. Got the orb. The orb is staying with the child, and it pulls up. As the orb goes up, the child's leg goes up into the air, almost hanging.
Yeah. What?
Is he trying to get the baby's legs out from the rails?
I don't know. Is it the orb? Is it the baby doing this? What is going on here?
What if the orb is the baby's spirit and it's just now it's not totally attached to the body yet? It's not totally committed to the ego.
It didn't quite get its wings.
Sleeping is the little death. Your like soul.
I can tell.
Escapes from your body.
Strong beer is coming up with that. I would raise it up, saying that that orb could be a manifestation of astral projection of the baby.
Yeah,
because like when you're astral projecting and you're in the state, like it's kind of weird, like in the mythos. I think it actually stems from Hinduism. I'm not too sure, Yakov, if you could maybe correct me if that is true or not. That like there's a tether, like when you sleep and you're not astral projecting, your body is above. Yeah, like your astral projected body is above your sleeping.
Yeah, the baby doesn't realize that it's physical yet, so it's trying to like go fly around while it's asleep, but it can't.
Well, can I tell a little story about something that happened to me when I was a baby?
Go.
Okay, so when I was about 2 years old, I remember my mom ended up telling me that I used to say, because we used to live in a house.
Don't say it, little Matt.
My bad. Oh my god, I've been so good, and he says it. But no, like because we used to live in a 2-story house. It was built in 1897, if I believe. And I was up in the upper story of it, and I was hanging out with my mom because I think she was like cleaning out, just getting rid of everything that was up on the 2nd story. And she used to tell me that I would talk about Michael. I always talk about Michael. Like, there's Michael.
Michael, the Archangel. Thank you.
No, not even the Archangel, because apparently before, about like 8 years before I was born, I had a brother that died named Michael. So I used to just talk about Michael all the time. My mom was like really confused why I used to do that, because I was like 2 years old. I was just saying Michael all all the time. And I don't know, babies. I think babies are like attuned to the spiritual realm way more than we can be, because they're so innocent and like they're not like cognizant like we are, just like thinking everything's gay and fake. So I mean,
they're saying that because like they literally just came from their spiritual manifestation into the physical world.
that's what I was saying. I was like 2 years old talking about my fucking, like I was saying, Michael.
Oh no, maybe before you were born, you were chilling with them.
Maybe you're Michael.
Y'all were back in the godhead.
Oh, I ain't doing that.
I'm just whoa.
So I want to go on to my next one, but I want to explain the backstory a little bit. Mother sees the ghostly face of her miscarried child staring at her baby sister on nanny cam in a haunted family home.
Wow.
You think it was miscarried, or it was just like the abortion baby? That's like back for revenge.
You know, I think. I think there's no such thing as ghosts.
There's no ghost babies.
It's either some supernatural creature of some sort or a hoax.
Come on, Dave. There's definitely fucking ghosts.
Let's go on with the story. A mother of two is convinced the spirit of her miscarried child is haunting her home after capturing footage on a crib cam of a ghostly face staring at her baby daughter in her cot. The same night she tragically lost her child, Melissa claims a children's toy randomly turned itself on in the middle of a living room and began playing music, and things continued to get stranger from there. From closet doors slamming to strange knocks on her bedroom door, Melissa and her family have frequently been unnerved by a number of strange goings-on. But on May 31st, Melissa received the most conclusive proof yet that her house is being haunted by her unborn baby. Let's check this video out.
Wow.
Let's do this. Oh, it's got stupid spooky music playing.
It's got the music.
I always thought it was going to be that one song.
Let's get the shit.
Who can say with something?
Road goes.
Alright, we got the baby. No, they say that there is a spooky ghost baby face looking in. Do you guys see the ghost baby face?
Barely.
It's a little vague. It's kind of barely. It's barely. I guess this is Daily
I
Mail
see it.
News.
I bet you do, really.
Dirty atheists don't believe in ghosts.
Oh.
There's that ghost.
Why'd they wrap the baby up like that? Why'd they do that little...
You gotta put him in a
Atheists
rug.
believe that science is possessing their house.
For real, like,
The
why
one thing
is that little... Why is that little...
Your house being possessed by science?
You gotta roll up the baby in a rug and slap it around a little bit.
No, that's bad, because they can, like, choke and die.
The one thing I did see one story like this with a photo of a ghost baby face in a crib with the baby, and it turned out that it was just a tag on the mattress that had a baby on it. So there was like the baby face on the mattress next to it. This could be a very similar thing. This could be a box of Pampers with the baby face.
Dude, what's up with this baby? It's like fucking fighting.
He's fine. He's good.
Oh, did you see
that?
that?
What was that in the bottom left? Yeah, what was that in the bottom left? What was that in the bottom left?
Was it a cryptid?
I don't know. Something moved in the bottom left.
Why is the baby wrapped up like this? This is like torture.
Yeah,
What are you
they
doing?
just fighting to survive.
Because they're dirty atheists, they want the child to experience evolution.
Because they're weak. Because the babies are weak.
You see that?
What was that?
Did you guys just see that?
There's a parent standing next to the fucking crib. Without a doubt.
Then why is he
You see
letting
the
his
shadow.
baby thrash around like a fucking asshole?
The baby's listening to some fucking Iron Maiden over there. He's fine.
I'm not even
question
convinced
baby.
that's a baby.
It's not.
We need to rescue that
It could be one of them
child.
rolling weasel toys. Remember those guys?
It's just a small man.
We need to collectively adopt that poor child. Skinwalker baby.
Especially Skinwalker baby.
Baby tapes.
I mean, it'll get cared for like one day out of the week. It'll be okay.
I got more
I
baby
mean,
ghost
I
shit.
see like the little gay fucking skull face, but I doubt that's real.
Bro, I thought there was a video just like this, but the ghost face looked like a gray alien. And my son and I watched this like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, look at it there.
Classic
Maybe it's the
content.
same video, but I just remember it being more clear than that.
Base.
Let's move on to
What's
our
that?
next ghost baby video. In time. There we go.
It does
Here
look
before
like a
now, it is
face.
video of the unknown. What is it?
Wow.
Is it real?
What?
What is it doing there? A family in
What?
Highland, Michigan believes their house is actually haunted and thinks something is harming their little girl. 7 News
What?
reporter Alan Campbell went to the home to see for himself.
It happened here in this room as 15-month-old Lily was inside her bed. Caught on camera, something walks in front of her crib, catching Lily's attention. Whatever it is, the family says it needs to
Like
go.
Ruby or Billy?
It's like
Come
she
on.
sees something that we don't.
It's an image
Ooh.
Heather and Josh say is haunting their home.
It was chilling. It was
Looks like a
literally
baby.
chilling down your spine, like that what if factor.
Jesus
this what I just saw?
Christ, dude!
Caught on a
Take
couple
off that
photos
fucking
a
hat,
few
you
weeks ago,
retard!
what appears
Yeah,
to be
I was gonna say
something
that
in front of
too.
the baby crib.
You're on
I
fucking
freaked out.
camp.
I
What about the
stopped what I was
ghost, you
doing,
guys?
and I
You
ran upstairs
fucking
and I grabbed my daughter.
retards.
Heather says this so-called ghost
These
scratched
are
her daughter
very,
Lily
yeah.
and attacked her too.
I don't know. It looked
Scares
like
us
something
that
moved.
it
Yeah.
could do something else.
Well, it
Don't
was
ask me.
clearly a
I
mean,
human
there was even
figure.
an
Don't ask me.
morning
I'm
that
an
I woke up and
atheist.
I
I
felt
thought it
like
was just
something
some
was
like
around
some
my
fucking.
hands were around my neck.
It was
A team of
dust. It was
paranormal
dust
investigators
flying
came in
through
and
the
tried
air.
answering some of the couple's questions and
I
concerns.
bet the baby
Father
farted.
Jim says
Yeah, you guys keep
maybe
talking,
someone who
shut up.
lived in this house before.
Play it again. Play it again.
Was the gentleman that lived here
They're
originally,
gonna play it again.
Okay, everybody shut up though.
apparently, by jumping out this window,
Killed himself.
which
Oh,
is
cool,
of course
base.
one
What?
story down.
The couple says they don't know why this so-called ghost is targeting them, but say they don't want any part of it.
It's
Because
not
they're atheists.
physically just going after
You're an
her. It feels
atheist.
like it's going after myself too.
I couldn't get an explanation out of it.
Get your hat off.
you know. So it's
Oh, okay, I
creepy,
see it.
is what it is.
For now,
Yeah.
Heather and Josh say they will stay inside this place with Lily until they're able to save up enough money and move out.
Out of it.
All right, so that's the video, and you can clearly see like a human shape walking by.
Yeah, that's definitely apparition.
I wouldn't say walking. I would not
It
say walking.
has the shape of
Yeah,
a
that's
human walking
straight
to
up
me. I can
walking,
see some swinging of the arms. I can see the shoulders.
What
That's what
the
it looks
fuck
like
are
to
you
me.
talking about?
There's
Oh yeah.
it's there, man. It's just very faint. And what I would assume is that it's that chick, the girl, the mom, and it just like picked that up really shitty.
That definitely is, and she doesn't realize it. She's fucking stupid.
It might not be. I don't know.
You look like
I think
the
it's-
dad was saying that.
Like
It's
you
an
just go
interesting
through all
video.
that on the news just to be like, oh, it was fucking me.
The dad was just drunk
Dude,
and
I used to
decided to
sit
choke
and
out
feel that
his
just
wife.
like-
Okay, many such cases.
She's so hot.
Really?
I like his beard. I wish I had his beard.
She's got like a.
She actually is.
She's attractive when you're like fucking 17. Look.
Well, she's attractive when you're drunk.
Dude, she's attractive when she sucks my penis, dude. Shut the fuck up.
She's got
So-
a Christina Ricci, like 13-year-old vibe going on.
She got the me nutting in her mouth vibe going.
Dog, she looks like Desmond is amazing.
She obviously doesn't like brown people. Don't worry.
It's not crazy. I heard you reference Christina Ricci. You're gay. Shut up.
She got that forehead. She got that dome.
Yeah, lots of girls have foreheads like that. You're gay though, so shut up.
Not as gay as Christina Ricci. Or
Well,
should
Christina
I
Ricci's
say
pretty gay.
Chris?
No, she did like Black Snake Mountain.
Hey
and
y'all,
shit.
I'm Christina Ricci. Hey,
Whatever. I'm gonna take a piss.
All right, let's move into our next story. If we got nothing else to say about ghost babies and the like, I think that story was pretty good. I think the idea of the previous tenant like jumping out the window and committing suicide, that adds some fuel to the fire. I think it's a good story. And speaking of fire, we can move to our next story.
But how would that kill him?
self-proclaimed shaman accused of starting California fire said she was trying to boil bear urine. Say the police.
Is there anything else other than a self-proclaimed shaman? Like I would like to know.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't give them any more credit, to be honest.
I just
My
didn't know.
wife.
I didn't know there was anything other than self-proclaimed, I guess.
A California woman professing to be a shaman who was arrested and charged with igniting the wildfire that has thousands of homes under threat claimed the fire was started inadvertently while she was attempting to boil bear urine. She could be sentenced. She's 30 years old. Alexandra Suverneva could be sentenced up to 9 years if convicted of starting the fire.
We can save her.
So she's destroyed roughly 41 homes and 90 small structures. That's a pretty good run, dude.
Pretty boost.
I could save her.
That's power.
I want to know, okay, why? So she became thirsty and approached a puddle of what she claimed to be bear urine. She told forest officials she attempted to make a fire to purify it. Okay, so
she obviously doesn't know anything about urine therapy.
Yeah, I'm wondering here why she was so desperate to drink pee-pee. I guess that's what you do when you're out in the woods.
It gives you a high.
She's shamanic. She is shamanic.
Shamans don't drink water.
She
They
is
drink
cute.
urine.
I want to breed
She's
her.
not really.
She
You were just
needs to
shitting on
come
Christina
here
Ricci, and this
right
bitch
now.
looks fucking gross, dude. Do I have to pull it up on stream so that everybody knows how disgusting that is?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I didn't have the image ready, but now I want it. Now I want it badly. Let's get that up on stream so that everybody can behold the glory of the shaman pussy.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
I just want to focus on this self-proclaimed shaman part. I like the way that sounds.
Oh, I can't even get it on stream. You're fucked. You gotta fucking Google it. Shaman bear piss wildfire. You'll find it. It don't matter.
I've
It's not
actually
very
seen
important.
it. I've actually seen it already.
Shaman bear piss wildfire.
Yeah.
Retard shaman lights himself on fire.
Let's cut to a random video. Let's check out this quote unquote deer. Look at this motherfucker.
Is that the thing I posted, or is this different?
You see him skedaddling around. Look at that motherfucker.
Oh,
What
I think
is
it got
happening?
hit. It looks like it got hit.
Oh, he has the thing
Oh,
with
that
deer.
worm. A worm.
They say chronic wasting disease, but this to me looks like a
Yeah.
skinwalker.
You see that eyeball? You see that
fucking-
eyeball, right?
It's nasty,
yeah.
dude.
You could probably
That
drink
eyeball right there. Look at that eyeball.
You could
Not
drink
bad,
you could drink his urine and trip balls.
For days. And
Oh,
days.
that poor
That
guy.
looks like
You gotta eat his liver.
And just shoot it and put it out of its misery.
Eat his
Yeah,
liver
for
and
real.
you'll trip.
Could there be
just
like
hard.
trauma to the brain?
Oh my god, it's so not cool.
I don't know. It looks pretty cool to me.
No, I'm sad.
You look great on the wall.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Awesome.
me and Law Deeb are in the same fucking camp here.
It'd be like that deer from Evil Dead.
guys-
Start laughing at you.
You guys
Start
want to
cackling.
transition to Bigfoot content?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That made me, honestly, it made me sad.
I don't know. Not me. So let's check this video out. Once again, we have stupid, shitty music playing. This is supposedly a drone catches something powerful trying to tear down a massive tree in Tennessee. This is alleged to be Bigfoot shit.
And I used to live in Tennessee, so I will tell you stories.
That have to do with
That's
this
a
video or
tree-
just random
A
shit?
tree shaker. It's a tree shaker.
What could
This
this
is-
be?
Insane.
I wouldn't want to just jump to Bigfoot, but what the fuck is this?
It's
I
a
don't
ant.
know, man.
It's a tree herder, guys.
There's no I mean, it's so close to a road that makes me think like there is some industrial thing going on.
What it is I got really drunk at like 11 a.m. and I just started punching trees.
I feel like if there was like construction equipment there, it'd be more obvious. Those are
Right,
big
right,
fucking
I
machines.
But,
That,
yeah.
That the trees are migratory. They like to migrate in circle patterns. And this is just a tree that decided to stretch its legs.
To move a tree like that is such a
It
massive
either
work.
takes
That's
machinery or
that's 3 or 4 trees.
That's a
and
big
it's
bear.
moving.
and it would require a bunch of dudes with like ropes and all sorts of shit to make
I
something
mean,
like that.
I know you can, but
Honestly, like I was talking about the Bigfoot thing going on in Kentucky. Tennessee is another place where apparently the shit's been spiking.
Here's what something
well,
flying
I'm not
over
trying to interrupt, but the
hit
fact
the
that
tree and
they are looking on it as it happens and they're on a road, like I want to say that is something like natural, but I don't want to be an asshole. Like they're close to a road, they got a drone on it, and it's like I don't know if it's like fucking somebody with a I don't know. I'm not a professional tree dropper.
A
but,
drone could film a lot of trees. It's not surprising to me that there could.
But
be
I mean, why? I don't know. Yeah.
These are tall trees. They're not necessarily big around. In the piney woods of East Texas, for instance, we got huge, giant, tall trees. They're not big around. A bear could do that, I think.
Right. Or a group of guys that are trying to drop some trees.
So,
But
like, you ever seen how bears like rub against a tree, and then like 30 other bears will try to scratch on the same tree?
You got a family of bears?
There was a rave.
The bear rave.
Bear rave.
I don't know.
I was hearing other Bigfoot stories about giants, not even necessarily Bigfoots, but like what they call forest giants, which are supposedly like 20 feet tall, and they look like your classic fucking giants, like right out of fucking Skyrim. Or whatever. But stories about them uprooting entire trees and then planting them in the ground upside down. You can find videos of trees just like planted in the ground like that. And I'm sure there's some naturalistic explanation for it, but I'd rather think giants are doing it.
I will say, because I used to live in Tennessee, so I actually, I know how Tennessee works. That, like, someone that was, like, messing with the tree like that would have to be, like, 5 bears. Seriously. It'd have to be, like, at least 5 bears. So, something with a lot of, like, strength was, like, fucking around that tree.
To me, it's either machinery, Bigfoot, or a bunch of guys with ropes around the trees. And I would think guys with the ropes is probably
I think it's guys, ropes, and machinery.
Well, I was gonna say you would know if it's machinery because I know about like machinery with cutting down trees in Tennessee. Like I said, I used to fucking live there, and like these people, like they cleared out an entire area, like a 40 by 40 area. So
what if it's like a 1,200-pound hog?
Hog?
Yeah, like
they just they like set a trap in the hog.
Honestly,
set it up against a tree.
For me talking to my buddy that used to live in Georgia, well, okay, so he was from Georgia, but he worked in Tennessee. Whatever, because I was that close. But he also used to tell me about these 600, 700, 800-pound hogs that used to live down south, like real down south. So, I mean, honestly...
Bro, there's some gigantic hogs out there.
We've been talking about the hogs. They almost killed Shakira.
Yeah,
that's been a recent event.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you guys want to take.
No, I understand what you're going to say, Grizzy, but like for real, like
I think that was just people like ripping trees down. Like they're right next to a road. They're not that big of trees.
It might have been, and you could also tell. Oh fuck. Sorry.
Red Sea says, I've lived in a logging community my whole life. I've never seen a tree fall like that. Whatever is doing that has at least a few hundred horsepower.
Well,
I'm just an atheist. I don't believe demons are ripping trees down.
It's because you're gay. If you look
I definitely believe that it's science pushing the trees down.
What if it was some kind of nature combat where like some big animal was up against another animal, the animal climbed up the tree, and there's something going on there.
That's very rational.
Or maybe it was like science fighting nature.
Science climbed up the tree, and nature was like, "Come down here right now and fight me." And then like they wiggled back and forth.
Let's move on.
Trees are evolving. They're finally evolving.
Let's move on. Go
Hold
on.
on, real quick. Before we move on, I have one more thing to say. If you look at those two trees, sorry, I'm trying to pinpoint my. Oh, okay, well, okay, all right.
Get your shit together.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was going to talk about emerald ash borers.
Okay, whatever, dude. Let's watch this video.
No one cares about me.
Shut up.
So we come across some scat that was about this much and about this high. So I took 3 sticks.
It's a lot of shit.
I put one here, and one here, and I put a black bag over the top of it. And it was at the end of the lake. So we took the bag off, and so he said, let's go up and get some things and we'll get a sample. We come back here and went right back, and something had went in there and went like this, and had pulled every bit of it out of there, and the stick was
all like, oh hell
and it was gone.
I think
I
think what happened is that Greasy was so zealous in his defense of science that he had to go in and destroy the evidence by eating all of its shit.
I was gonna say, you guys are so schizophrenic with your gay like religion that you're overcompensating.
Shut up.
You're overcompensating so hard.
Unbeliever.
It's really easy. See,
So I posted that on TikTok, and somebody responded, "Bigfoot's not even real," and I'm like, "If Bigfoot, how can Bigfoot shit be real if Bigfoot's not real? Just answer."
This
me that.
lady
Really
probably
honest.
would chase you off and tell you like you owe her tax money. Just so you know.
Do you think like
She'd probably try to fuck
science
me.
plus that shit?
What? Please repeat.
Do you think science like bent over and pitched a hot loaf for this old man to find?
That's a woman, by the way.
Same thing.
Oh shit!
It's 2021.
Let's start there. Let's start there, buddy. Let's speak. You're talking about the loaf that we can't even see or touch. Yeah, I think she maybe believed in it.
Well, you do have a
Can't
point.
see or touch science. How do we know science is real?
Muad'Dib, don't make me bring up science, please, God.
Please, science.
It's like getting retarded.
The
So
Earth is flat.
we've been doing some damn festival talk, and we were talking about Burning Man. We've been talking about Burning Man. What the fuck are you doing? God damn it! Fucking worthless. Robot out as soon as I let you speak. Shut up. We were talking about Burning Man last week, and fucking I got some new footage. We were talking about seeing more Burning Man footage. Well, I did find some people like recording through the crowd. And that's all pretty lame. I don't want to watch that.
This is fun.
I think
This is
instead
fun.
what we'll do is watch that time that guy died after running into a blazing effigy on the final night at Burning Man. How about that? You guys want to watch that? Let's check this video.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
This is really cool.
Here you have the burning effigy, and we saw this last week. I wasn't paying enough attention. Someone asked what all these people were like surrounding, what the big circle was around. It was around the giant effigy that they burned, the giant man effigy they burn at the end. The idea is that you burn the old man and resurrect the new man. That's
But
the
you have
idea.
to have like a Christian sacrifice.
Well, it's the exact same thing as Bohemian Grove, the cremation of care. Like these concepts they're readily available.
First break.
That's where all the
limbs.
old people burn the young person.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Canaanite style.
Let's watch this video.
Barbecue, baby.
We're surrounding it. Now the man busts through the fucking barricades, runs into the burning fucking pyre, trips and slams on his face. There he lies within the rubble. The crowd is aghast. People run over to try to pull him out. Watch what happens here.
Keep stopping. Like, restart it real quick, please.
All right. Now,
Yeah, I
was
caught
going
was
around.
talking.
There's a commotion. I know, but I need to talk. There's a podcast that people can't fucking see. This guy runs in and he falls on his face, and now he's burning in the fucking pyre.
He does the bit.
These guys run up.
Holy shit.
They're trying to pull him out. They're desperately trying to get this dude out of the fucking harm's way, which it's probably too goddamn late. He did die after all.
Fuck.
Is he a minority now?
Somebody always dies at Burning Man. Every year, at least one.
Fucking satanic.
I think more than one die. I would say probably like 20 people, 25, 30 people die.
I want to kind of see.
Here we go. Here we go. The whole thing tips the fuck over as they're trying to save this guy, and they were lucky enough not to be right under it.
The demon rejoices in the bloodlust.
Yeah, it's a fucking amazing video. All that goddamn fire, like that dude's done for. Like immediately he fell over.
Do we have any like,
his headspace was like
after pictures?
I bet he was all fucked up on acid and wanted to offer himself as a fucking sacrifice to God, dude. I don't know about acid. Could have been a million things, but
he was probably a pagan. He probably didn't believe in science, and he ran into the fire.
You have to have faith in fire for it to burn you. If you don't believe in it,
that was based. Thank you.
I don't know, man. I didn't see the after pictures, so according to science, he's still alive.
He's good. He's fine. Here comes the fucking ambulance.
The ambulance.
Oh, fuck.
We got him, folks. Everything's
What are they
fine.
gonna do? What are they gonna do?
Take him to the med tent.
Watch him wet. Watch him fucking burn up.
They're gonna eat him.
That's totally an occult sacrifice, dude.
As a religious group and a scientific group, we can all agree fucking Burning Man is very gay.
I'm with you.
Yeah. He's an atheist.
What's with your take, strong beer? You're saying this is this is very pagan in nature.
It's so similar to the Bohemian Grove shit. It's so similar.
That bothers me because, I mean, paganism ultimately is, it's in tune with nature. I guess you could say.
Let me clarify that quick.
Satanism goes against nature in every way. That's not to say that it doesn't lust for blood, because they're cannibals and blood drinkers. And I mean, right here we see this guy, it looks to me like he sacrificed himself in this strange ritual. And I think I heard someone say that he probably hopped up on LSD. Probably. Something
Can
like
I
that.
say something as well?
Yeah, I agree.
I would say that like 90% of the people watching this are like IT slash like corporate like employees that are all fucking atheistic pieces of shit that don't give a fuck about any of this.
I mean, that's the perfect victim, to be honest.
Well, I'm just saying that's it. Most people that know that go to Burning Man are people that have badass degrees and go work fucking shitty ass jobs and are like whatever. I mean, you could call them atheist or whatever. They like love to go eat Molly and watch.
It's hedonistic.
Yeah, they're all hedonistic retards, and like to think that this has anything to do with other than the people that put it on and the people that see it that interpret it as something. I guess what I'm saying is like like I said, 90% of the people there are fucking like yuppies that make like $120,000 a year. They show up and eat Molly and are stupid as fuck.
So
yeah.
Get into Burning Man.
They're there to feel cool.
They can be unwilling participants.
Well, yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I'm just telling you who they are. The people that are there.
Do you know the price to get in?
I heard this was invite only. I don't know.
But you gotta have some money to come.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I'm sure there's a
price.
price, but more importantly, it's invite only. So
I think it's about the people that do it. The people that do it that are like doing the ritual in front of these people is what it's more important to them than the people that actually see it, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So magic works.
I don't know any satanic people, and I've met some satanic people that are openly satanic, and they're all atheists, and yet they're satanic.
Yeah,
Satanism, as in the Church of Satan, is just atheism with extra steps.
Well, there's two strains of Satanism. There's the Antony LaVey Satanism, or the Order of the Trapezoid, which is an atheistic take on the idea of Satan. as seen as the role model and the rebel, and by invoking Satan, you're amping up your hedonistic desire to be an individual and be a free person.
And a slave to your ego, a slave to your flesh.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So they think that whole saying, "Man is the measure of all things." That's their
Tell that to the guy that
philosophy.
ran into the fucking fire, though, for real.
I will.
Red Sea ass. Red Sea ass. How much has shut the fuck up? How much juggalos would die if they had this at the gathering? But I don't think the juggalos would jump into the fire. They're too used to flaming shit and explosions.
They would not even have that.
No, obviously not.
The
Juggalos never die. Hold on, Juggalos never die.
Dude, we would have a mosh pit right in front of that while somebody plays music somewhere. While that shit goes.
Juggalos paint their faces, and that's how you hide your ego. And we see clowns on DMT, and elves dress up as clowns when you're tripping. And there's something to that, man, because when you put the mask on, you're not you anymore, and it has to. It's connected to the fact that your ego itself is a mask.
Yeah,
Very true, my friend. Very true.
I think the juggalos have a lot of esoteric shit going on, more than people give them credit for. And the magic is in people not realizing. If people realize, the magic would be lost. That's all. That's where
You see the same thing with Christians, man. I mean, when you're focused on the Bible and your heart is true, then it's not really the Bible, it's that your heart's true.
The words are written on your heart, ultimately, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I think with the juggalo thing is it is really good that they have a off-putting presence. I would say terrifying presence.
Are you implying though juggalos are like Christians or what?
No, dude. I'm saying like there's similar, but like that. No, that's not what I'm getting at. But fucking.
That's why I asked.
I'm saying like like they have the face paint. They talk about murder. They talk about like like the savagery of the Dark Carnival. All these horror themes are off-putting to the normie. Juggalerism is esoteric. It really is.
It's just the nature of being a secret club. The secret club that just implicitly keeps people out. It's designed to keep people out.
Yeah, and like the music itself, like all the Joker cards have a meaning to it. And after we came back from the gathering of the Juggalos, I went through the whole catalog of ICP and I listened to all the Joker cards and I understood every single message. And it is fucking dang. And if I knew. If I was an esoteric-minded person and I knew about this shit when I was a lot younger, dude, who knows how far I would be in my occult research? Because like there's yeah, dude, it's like it's really hard to articulate in words for me.
It's so easy to debunk that, though, man.
No, dude.
Like for real though.
When was the last time you read a book, motherfucker?
What?
When was the last time you educated yourself on esoteric, dude?
I can't.
I don't know. I used to listen to
Nigga, I didn't ask if you listened. I asked if you read.
Esoteric. The thing about the word esoteric literally means it's just not for most people. It's for a select few. I think that's juggalos, man, for better or worse.
It is, dude. It's totally juggaloism, and to try to understand it, it's the feeling that these people have, and it's a spiritual feeling, I would even say. And I've never been an ICP person, but after years of experience, I can look back on it and say these things.
Yeah, like there was a long time where I shitted on juggalos. Like I had a girlfriend that
exactly. There's a long time you shitted on fucking juggalos, and now you don't.
I mean, my little brother
understand though. That's the thing we didn't understand.
Yeah.
So then, at what point, if you understood, at what point could you? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I'm not trying to be a douchebag.
We're talking about ICP, bro. It's not. Nobody's gonna get hurt here. I mean, we're fine.
I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm just saying, like, at what point, I mean, with anything, I guess, if you went and experienced it and you enjoyed it, I'm not gonna, dude. I'm not trying to even do that. Like,
but the thing is, that's
I
not.
genuinely agree with you. I
But
genuinely agree.
that's not exactly what happened. Like, I've always appreciated fucking Juggalo shit. Like, when I was a kid, I was into it for like a year. But like, I've always wanted to go to the gathering.
Yeah.
I've always known that there was something special to it.
But like I stepped away and I thought it was immature and I used to shit on it, and then like
it is.
I go back and I listen to some of the music, and I'll be honest, like a lot of it has not aged at all well. Like it is like some of the music is just really bad.
I still have parts of it I enjoy. I listened to a few albums when I was a kid because my brother was into it, and there's parts of it I still like. But
yeah, but like it's the message, the stories, like the Joker cards, like that
was interesting to me. The esoteric style of cards. Yeah,
and like these messages that these cards are all telling and the stories that they're all telling, like for somebody who is like, I guess, esoteric minded could catch on to what Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope are saying. Like these lessons.
That just sounds so wacky to me to hear you
say. The problem is when I actually listen to the music, like the music is pretty juvenile. It's not made for people who are like old souls, quote unquote, or that sort of thing. Like, it's made for people who are pretty fucking simple with simple tastes. And,
well, when you can become
part of what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
You can become music is the least important. It's the lowest common denominator between that group. I mean, it's not about the music.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you can be chemically bonded to something without even knowing it. And that goes with everything. That's how I'm not saying you've been brainwashed by taking drugs, but that's how everything works. I mean, you can be chemically bonded to something no matter what, like easily. You can be chemically bonded to a woman by taking fucking ecstasy and having sex with her. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad example, but. And I'm not even.
Without the ecstasy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your point is very vague.
You guys have sex without
ecstasy?
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying you can be high on a drug and enjoy something, and then be convinced it is the real thing.
A lot of that music, a lot of these kids were listening to that shit when they weren't on drugs, because like they were like middle school, like we were in like.
It's not like I was so high I was loving the music. The atmosphere was really good. That would have been the case with or without drugs. At the gathering, man. The atmosphere was fucking magical.
We should all do drugs.
The friends you met in the circles were
go to the gathering without drugs.
I can't do anything without drugs, dude.
The only drug I need is
I couldn't go see Soundtribe. I couldn't go see Soundtribe without drugs. That's why I don't listen to Soundtribe anymore.
Oh damn.
All right, let's we can move on to more animal shit. We can weasel our way back to bear talk. Yeah. All right, so this video is going to be.
Why do I gotta be the bad guy every time? All right, sorry.
This video is going to be disconcerting to some people.
Shut the fuck up, Muad'Dib.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Watch.
Muad'Dib, I'll lock
Watch
your
the video.
Walk away.
You get back.
Well, honestly,
shut up.
Sucks. Just in general, he just sucks.
Watch the fucking video, you mongoloids.
No.
This guy sucks.
So this dude,
I can't believe he shot that cat. He is a bitch.
Yeah, real shit.
He fucking popped it. He was face to face with the mountain lion. This is a guy who pulled his Glock. But before he pulled his Glock, he pulled his fucking phone out to record it.
You get back.
First.
Yeah, what a little bitch.
Here he is dual wielding.
Was he black?
Back.
Dude,
that cat would have been
retarded.
No.
Get back. Get back. I have a gun.
Yeah.
Pop.
I don't even want to watch this.
I don't want to
watch this, man.
Oh, shut up, crazy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. I'd like to jack him in his grill.
Holy shit.
I want to punch him in the dick.
Holy
He's still scared.
Oh my god.
He's still scared.
Oh my god.
He's a little bitch, dude.
What's he scared of? I don't even see what's going on.
Holy
He's coming right now.
He's coming.
The fucking poor kitty fucking wriggles its last little bits of life away.
I would jack this dude straight in his fucking
Didn't
grill.
even bother a warning shot.
He shot this cat in the face. I'm 40 years old. I'll go whoop this guy's butt.
I'm sick. My stomach.
I'm gonna fight everyone here. That's a poor baby. Look okay.
Obviously, he's like.
Oh man!
Why did we watch that?
Never mind.
So what are the issues? What are the issues with that? You're face to face with this fucking wild beast in the forest. Now it's like I understand having the gun, I understand using the gun, but motherfucker, if you had enough time to get that fucking phone out, then you had enough time to walk the fuck away.
I don't know. This is the whole like cops versus.
I guess, but this is totally fucking different.
Yeah,
This is different.
I would have backed up. I would have backed up slowly.
You gotta start. Yeah, you gotta at least try that.
Make
There are
yourself
humans out there way
large.
more dangerous than this cat was, and this
Yeah.
dumbass didn't know what to do. And maybe that's what he wanted. So
Well,
he
that's the thing. He had the fucking phone out. He was recording it. He kind of. It seems like he did want it. But the thing is, there's a number of things you could do before this situation, and fucking, if nothing else, you fire a warning shot. What is the harm in firing a fucking warning shot? Yeah. And that will generally be enough to scare the shit out of any animal.
Cats are skittish. All cats are skittish.
Yes, exactly.
No shit, and that is a cat. That's what it is.
Yeah, so we're on the same page that like none of us would have like went out of our way to kill this little kid.
If I did feel like I had,
Yeah.
If I felt like I had to kill it, I sure as shit wouldn't have the phone out.
No.
I
Like,
would
I
have
know that.
prayed to my science god, and then he would have struck him with lightning, and then I would have ran up.
If it was a 600-pound tiger, if it was a 600-pound tiger, he might be an actual serious shit. But that's like a 60-pound
It's a fucking
cat.
bobcat. What is that thing?
Well, it's a
What is
mountain
that?
lion. There's no joke. There's no joke, but there's other ways to handle it.
I mean, that's probably a 300-pound cougar, but just walk backwards. If
It was probably
if the cougar
That did not look big.
if you see a cougar, you're not gonna die. Because if a cougar wants to kill you, you won't see it. You won't see it. You won't see a cougar. A cougar will come behind you in the bush.
Hey, that's nice, Greasy. But,
It will. Shut the fuck up, man. I've been in the bush.
He is right because like they're perfect like ambush hunters.
Yeah, they are. Okay, you know what? They are. They can be dangerous. Obviously.
They're silent.
This guy didn't have to kill that cat.
Greasy,
No.
Greasy, remember that time I actually lived in Appalachia and you didn't? That was really
Shut
cool.
the fuck up. That was awesome.
Yeah,
You
it
would
was
have died. You would have died. They would have
I wouldn't have.
flayed your
I
ass.
wouldn't have
great.
fucking died. I
I
would
used to
have
go
poked
to
him
the
in the eye
Appalachian
with a
Trail.
stick.
Whatever, you're gay. God damn it. You're so gay. Why are you so gay?
What are you talking about? You can hardly walk like a half a mile without dying. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking? I roamed the Appalachians 10 feet at a time. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. I wasn't with some
I
kind
would
of
have poked
Kansas
that
idiot like
motherfucker in
you.
the eye with a stick, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's saying, yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, poke Greasy.
I lived in the I lived in the Rockies, and I used to see tracks of cats.
That's great. That's
I used to go fishing, and I'd see.
Tell me more.
I
Tell me
used to
more.
see tracks of cats when I go fishing.
Tell me how your fucking cat dick
I
tails.
will say, we watched a video recently of a mountain lion stalking a man quite far. He got us kicked off YouTube, in fact. But we watched that, and now the cat fucking followed this guy for a very long time, and it was pretty clear to me that the cat didn't want to attack him. He was trying to get rid of him for whatever cat reason it had. But the thing is, I think first of all, backing away would have been no problem, and the warning shot would have been no problem if that didn't work.
I agree with
You can
that.
just yell at it.
You start by yelling and walking away.
Well, I
That
think
was definitely
I think he might be
Oh
in
my
trouble.
god, here we
Honestly,
go. It's fucking crazy.
I think he might
Jesus
be in
Christ.
trouble for killing
He
it,
could.
like untagged cat,
Yeah,
like
if
and
you-
no
if you-
no reason to kill it.
If you just pop a majestic creature in the face, you got to make sure you destroy the evidence.
Nah,
going
yeah,
to
you
hell
don't
anyway.
videotape yourself killing it.
No,
Yeah.
shit on that. I would, if I actually did that, I would fucking skin it and make a Hercules suit out of it and never tell anyone.
Yeah, you don't videotape it. Because that's a very prized fucking possession there to kill
I'm a
it.
Texan, bro. So like, we only have our like natural danger is snakes, and I never really. We only heard
boars coming out there.
We have bobcats, but they ain't shit.
Don't we got boars coming out there?
We have boars. And
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of wild
African
hogs, but I
bees.
mean, there's nothing that anybody can worry about when
here.
kids.
Bees and wasps are like the most dangerous things in Texas.
There were certain areas in the Rockies that we used to see tracks for, and like you go down there and you go fish in these areas where it was down the canyon, and you knew it was known that there was cats up in the mountains, and like I don't know, you wouldn't like you would see tracks, but there was no way of knowing, but they'd have to like come way down and like look like
Everyone knows
there's
there's
no
cats
way.
in every single mountain.
Let's move on to our next video. Let's go on to some more close encounters with the fucking fauna.
I'm gonna literally kill Greasy.
Let's watch this video.
And locally, after a recent hike and bear sightings, officials with the city of Gatlinburg spoke to 6 on Your Side reporter Jordan Brown.
I just live here.
To be very cautious.
It's fun. Nice. Beautiful.
Forget the attractions, museums, or mountainous views.
Shut up.
The highlight of a trip to Gatlinburg is always... Do you see that bear? Yeah. It's easy to forget they're wild and unpredictable when they're, well, everywhere.
A little close for comfort.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It's a black bear though.
It is. Yeah, it's true. It's still a little close for comfort.
But it's fun. It's fun.
And grabbing a bite to eat at
Like,
popular
I wouldn't want to be that close, dude. Fuck that. That's
not
stupid.
good.
Look at this crowd around them. You're all gonna die, dude.
Honestly, those little bears are so fun.
Does my toupee look better than this guy's?
No.
He needs to put. Can we
Yes,
get a
I mean-
plant? Can we get a?
He's obviously using a Rogaine.
Can you move like a little fucking headband in front of his?
That's a German phenotype.
Oh, that's
That's your average Aryan.
That guy's
kid.
English. That guy's
He
English.
looks
as
like
fuck.
Matt without a beard.
No. Hold on. First, several things. No.
He
That
has
is not-
4 chins, not 2.
Yeah, I only have this
The
one.
Prussian 2 chin.
I will show you all my chins. But also, this guy is a fucking Anglo.
He
That
is.
is not a
That
joke.
guy's British as fuck.
Yeah. So
I think that's
get
all we
that
have to
out of
watch
my
in this
face.
video.
No, but that noise that the guy does.
He's a British.
Also,
He's a fat Brit, not a fat German.
yeah, exactly. Also, that haircut is not German and whatsoever. Also, this background is cool as fuck. I really
Yeah,
like this
but the
fucking
English
background.
are Germanic, so...
Who gives a crap about any of this dumb shit?
It's so autistic, yes.
It's the
English
dumbest
are
thing
not
I've ever
even
fucking heard in my
about-
life. Motherfucker
Well,
put me to
I'll
sleep.
address this later.
People
I'll
in
address
England
it
are
later.
Celtic. They look like mice.
All right, while we're talking about bears, so
It's
North Carolina boy, shut the fuck. North Carolina boy 3 who went missing says he hung out with a bear for 2 days. A 3-year-old North Carolina boy who went missing earlier this week, bear for 2 days, blah, blah, blah. Casey Lynn Hathaway, 3, disappeared on Tuesday from his grandmother's backyard while playing with other children, the Craven County Sheriff's Office said. The FBI, state investigators, and U.S. Marine Corps from nearby bases at Camp Lejeune and Cherry Point joined the effort to find the boy.
Really?
On Thursday, Hathaway was found. He was located by professional search and rescue teams, the FBI said. And that was a weird thing, is that the FBI was called in for this, and people thought that was strange. So
Yes.
there's an update on Facebook. Casey is healthy, smiling, and talking, Brianna Hathaway wrote. He said he hung out with a bear for 2 days. God sent him a friend to keep him safe. God is good. Miracles do happen.
That is good. Thank you.
And as we learned earlier today, it's not that strange of a story for a bear to take a child and care for it.
Yeah.
We
heard
actually went
numerous-
through all those stories.
Not
sorry.
yet. No, but I'm saying we
I thought
were looking into it.
Oh, sorry.
But they were fun.
It's like I thought we haven't talked about this yet.
So there's a few. I got one in 1910. Roy Bilgrian, age 2, went missing in October of 1910 in Wisconsin. His mother stated that she saw him being carried off by a bear. She pursued the bear. She pursued, and the bear dropped the child after encountering a wire fence. Interestingly, she said in a different news article that the kidnapper had been a wolf. That's strange, like Dogman action happening here.
The thing is, because it was carrying it by its mouth, I would assume.
No, he was carrying him in his paw.
A lot of these stories explicitly say that it was a bear running on 2 or 3 legs with one or both of its forepaws with the child.
But they do explicitly, or I'd say like 2 out of 4 of them say that they have bite marks on the back of their neck / like back or whatever to help carry.
Yeah, there were a few stories, and that's what we're trying to parse here. Is like, what would a bear actually do? What the fuck would a dogman do? What about a Bigfoot? Maybe even a fairy? I have no goddamn idea.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's dive in, dude. I'm excited.
Let's just do the bit.
Katie Flynn, age 3, went missing in the summer of 1868 in Michigan. Her father stated that he followed her tracks and that he saw the tracks he saw slowly merged with that of a huge black bear. Upon finding Katie, the searchers stated that they saw a huge black bear jump into the river and disappear when they approached Katie. In regards to the disappearance, Katie said, "Big Dog came up to me, took me in his arms, and walked away with me." That's almost like the copy pasta I was reading. She further stated that the big black thing had approached her while she was playing and had taken her away with it by holding out its paw. It had also given Katie berries to eat out of its paw. Berries are another common motif in these stories, which isn't too surprising as bears do eat berries, but that's also something that comes up in more of the Fae mythos, that people go missing while berry picking.
It's very true. Also, Yakov, if you ever want me to read one of these stories, I'm definitely down.
All right.
You definitely have a bear.
He
definitely has a bear mythos to him.
That mythos is very interesting. Yeah.
He's got the bear mythos.
I got another one I want to go over real quick. Missing girl Davis, age 2, went missing in May of 1888 in New York. She was found after a full day of being missing and said that she had slept with a bear in the woods. And it's like, what are these children saying? Like, are they misidentifying something? Is this maybe a big dog that they thought was a bear, or maybe it is a Bigfoot that they don't have a word for?
So
they're always scratched up. They're all scratched up.
In common mythos, spirits of the woods, dryads and such, will take on the forms of forest animals to protect travelers. And I think this is a case of one dryad or naiad transfiguring itself to protect the child.
These are little kids that are getting abducted.
Yeah, I was about to say that's straight.
These are little kids that are being abducted, and they have scratches and missing clothing and missing foots. Like there's one where it's like their one is like, yeah, where did your shoe go? And it's like the giant dog ate my shoe. Right? Is that not
yeah. There's
there's no.
And another thing that comes up that I want to note before I forget it is that in a lot of these stories, you'll hear about like hearing the child's voice like off in the distance and in different places, like places you wouldn't expect it to be able to travel to in X amount of time. And that is right. And that was in the most recent one, the Casey disappearance, which was from 2019. And I think it also came up in the Katie disappearance from the early 1900s or whatever. That's out of Fae stuff too. How the people are existing like on top of that space, but they're not in like a tangible form. So you can hear them, but you can't see them. And then they'll find these children a lot of times in places where they already looked after having heard their voices in these different places. And you could say it's some kind of hysteria. People want to hear the child, so maybe they do. But then like when you combine that with finding the children in places that were already searched, it's like they just popped in from thin air.
David, that's David Paulides.
Muad'Dib, I don't mean to be an asshole. Muad'Dib, I don't mean an asshole, but like what if you ever sit in a chair and get pushed, what's the is that a circle? Is that a circular thing that pushes you along?
No, it's science.
It's science. Yeah, you're gliding in a
Oh my
science
God,
chair.
oh.
Enjoy your science chair.
Crazy.
Oh, relax. He can take it. I'm fucking.
No,
Science.
I don't want to hear you talk ever.
All right.
Shut
I
up,
wanna
Matt.
go-
You fucking.
Yeah, don't be such a white knight.
I want to go into this story. I have a story.
Background.
I have a story about the bear and the child from
Okay.
some Indian. So Matt, I want you to help me with this one. I'm gonna send it off to you when I get sick of reading. It's a
Yes,
little
sir.
long. It's worth
I'd
going
love
through.
to.
Which tribe was this
I
Indian?
love
I'm
when
gonna
you
go
do
through it.
this
I'm
to
gonna go
me.
through it.
I love when you do this to me. This is the best thing.
The Bear and the Child, told by Joseph Guanish of Kawawachika-mach.
Yeah,
That's the tribe.
Kawawachika-mach.
Kawawachika-mach. Ring any bells for you, Maud?
They're my
Yes, sir.
niggas.
All right, so
And they're also my niggas.
told by Joseph shut up. Told by Joseph Guanish of Kawawachika-mach in the local Naskapi dialect and translated by Brian Webb of Chisasibi. The syllabic text, as transcribed by Brian Webb, follows the English translation. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I will tell the legend of the bear. I heard my grandmother tell this one. The one about the bear that lived with a child. This is how she told it. One
Yes, she
time,
does.
a black bear began feeling lonely and wished for a human child to care for. He began wandering around through the forest. With his mind and thoughts, the bear could influence things to happen and make them do exactly what he wanted. And like we were talking about before, like how these forest beings, whatever they are, seem to have some sort of effect on people's minds, so that they're more accepting of the weird shit that's going on until afterwards when they look back on it.
Are you want me to read?
Hold
this?
up. Shut up. I'm going to tell you when to read. Just follow along.
God damn. Okay. All right.
At a camp, a mother and her son decided to go gather berries. The two of them left and headed to an area where there had been a forest fire years before, since there were sure to be many berries there. As the bear wandered around, he noticed the woman and her young son picking berries in the distance. The bear stopped and gazed at him. He made a wish on the mother. I wish for you to leave the child because you will look for another patch of berries. His ponderings always seemed to work for him. As soon as he thought this, the woman said, Son, stay here and play. There are too many mosquitoes over there. I'll go over there by myself and pick the berries so I can be quick. The mother left. The bear had envisioned all this to happen. The mother disappeared from sight and the bear approached the little boy. As he got closer, he wished that the boy would not fear him. Of course, the bear's thoughts influenced the boy. The little boy was frightened at first, but the bear allowed the boy to sit on his shoulders. He wished for the boy to stop crying. He pretended to play with the little boy. Suddenly, the bear bolted and ran far with the boy sitting on his back. The bear ran far and the boy was having a great time as he held on. Go on, Matt.
When they got far, the bear stopped. He began eating berries, and so did the boy.
Enunciate this shit. You're fucking clipping and sounding like garbage. Say it
It's
slowly.
probably my internet connection. Sorry.
So, what I have a weird take. Like, what if these are just like hyper intelligent, like conscious bears? You know, like what if like the cycle samsara has put somebody is so like
I was
cognizant.
thinking about that.
No, they're evolving, man.
That sounds
science.
wacky.
Science is working on these bears.
I'll be honest. I think what's actually going on here is that this is a
Science is
story about something else. It's not actually about a bear. The bear is being used as a vehicle
so.
in this story. I think this is a story
Yeah.
about something else, some other phenomenon that can happen in the forest, and this is a simple story for children. Like a boogeyman story. Sort of like the stories about why you shouldn't get close to a body of water. But maybe this is about something far different. So go on.
Like LimeWire.
Anyway,
Go
after
on,
picking
Matt.
berries. Well, after picking berries, the mother went back for her son. She could not find him. She kept calling and calling for him. From the spot where she had left her son, she noticed the tracks of a bear. Her mind raced with images of her son being killed by the bear. What? That's weird. The bear must have run off with my little son's body. She returned back to the camp and told her husband bad news.
God damn it, Matt. You suck at this. Anyway, you skipped a line. It was very important. When they got far, the bear stopped, and he began eating berries, and so did the boy. The little boy forgot about his mother. And that's very reminiscent of fairy stories where they say, don't eat the food in fairyland, or you're stuck there. So maybe you forget about the life you came from.
I never noticed that when I read that. Just the whole...
Man, it's crazy.
Matt, you can go on.
Yeah.
Do it with more emotion. That doesn't mean louder. That doesn't mean louder.
Be less drunk.
Oh, I'm not. The couple found it difficult to leave the area where they had last seen her son. I can't. Not. I'm thinking about fucking Greasy. Shut up. You fucked it up. Oh
The couple found it difficult to leave the area where they had last seen their son. Autumn arrived, and they still hoped to find their son. The season changed to winter, and the sad couple still stayed in the same area. The bear did live with the boy. The bear announced to the boy, I shall build our lodge, and he began making a lodge. To the boy, it seemed to look like a teepee. After finishing the lodge, the little boy went in and saw that it was a normal teepee. The bear began bringing sacks of all kinds of meat, such as porcupine, beaver, caribou, and ptarmigan, I don't know what that is, into the lodge. Each one was a separate sack. The boy had totally forgotten about his mother, and the bear and the child lived together. Back at the parents' camp, the husband said to his wife, I have a hunch that our son is alive. I believe that the bear did not kill our son. I see him in my dreams, and I worry about him. At the bear's camp, the bear always had only one log on the fire. The bear said to the boy, if this log burns and breaks in two, it'll be a long winter. And if this happened, they would be feasting. I wonder how their feast would be. The boy stayed at their camp, but it seemed that he couldn't play much. The husband told his wife to make their son's clothes. The man began making a bow and arrows and snowshoes for their son. I'll try to find him, he said to his wife. The woman was delighted to hear her husband say this and quickly began making clothes for their lost son. The man also carved snowshoes and arrows. When they finished making all the things for their son, they bundled them all together. When the sun rises, I'll go in search of our son, said the husband. The woman was so pleased to see that her husband believed that their son was still alive. As soon as the morning sun rose, the man picked up all the bundle of belongings they had made for their son and left. The bear knew that the child's belongings had been prepared. The bear explained to the child, your father instructed your mother to make clothes for you, and he had made snowshoes and a bow. He will come looking for you. That same morning, the bear told the child that his father was coming directly this way. I shall miss you, my grandson. I shall miss you when your father finds you and takes you away. The bear began trying to distract the man on his search. He took his sack of ptarmigan meat and placed it near the hearth. This was to deter the man from coming towards them. As the man walked, he came upon a great number of ptarmigan. He stood there for a long time watching the birds. He thought, when I come back, I'll shoot my arrows at them. They'll slow me down because of where I want to go. The bear could sense that the man ignored the ptarmigan and continued walking toward them. Your father didn't even bother with the ptarmigan. If he did...
Is that wildfowl? Is that what that means?
That's what it sounds like. I'm probably saying it wrong. I don't know, but that sounds right.
Does it have a P? Does it have a P in front of it?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go on. My bad.
If he did, it would take him longer. Your father didn't even bother with them. If he did, it would take him longer to get here. He didn't even bother to shoot an arrow at them. The man knew that the bear was putting obstacles to slow him down. It seemed as though the bear was giving food away. Then the bear took a sack of porcupine meat and placed it near the hearth. As the man walked through the forest, he saw many trees where the bark had been gnawed by porcupine. He didn't even bother with the porcupine. They'll be a hassle to carry around. I'll club them when I get back. I thought that was a great line. The bear knew that this distraction was unsuccessful as well. The bear explained to the boy, he knows that you're still alive, but your mother had thought that I had killed you from the spot I took you with me. The man left the porcupine and continued walking in the same direction. This time, the bear took his sack of beaver meat and placed it near the hearth. As the man walked along, he found a beaver lodge. He did not even bother to mark it with a small tree. He thought, I'll mark it when I come back. The bear's attempt was unsuccessful yet again. These legends were told to put children to sleep. My grandmother would ask, am I putting you to sleep? I'd say, no, this is too interesting. Legends were told to lull children to sleep, the Indian says. "Your father is still coming for us," said the bear to his grandchild. This time the bear took a sack of dried caribou meat and placed it near the hearth. As the man walked, he came across fresh caribou tracks. The man thought, "It'll get too dark where I want to go. I'll get them when I come back. I won't disturb them now." "Your father is still coming toward us," said the bear. "We cannot defeat your father. We used up all we could to distract him." The bear lied down and put his feet up with his toes sticking up. As the man walked, the forest became so thick. He could not go around the thick forest. The man was not deterred. He went straight through and maneuvered his snowshoes to get through. The bear began giving instructions to his grandson. "When your father kills me, do not eat from me. Instead, when the people are hungry, go up a mountain. You shall see the smoke from our dens. With the biggest smoke coming from a bear den, go to that one. The bear in that den will be good." Then they could hear the man walking towards their lodge. The boy shuffled towards the back of the lodge. His grandfather had told him to do this so that he would not get hit if the man shoots an arrow at the bear. The man did not shoot an arrow at the bear. He clubbed him instead. The boy watched as his dead bear grandfather was dragged out. His father waited for him to come out, but the boy did not stir. The man announced, "There is nothing else in here, though I was expecting something." The man peeked in, and the boy called out, "Father, I am here." "My son, I am so remorseful for what I have done. Why did you not say anything as I killed your grandfather? You too would have stayed here for the winter and would have eventually changed into the form of a bear." He handed his son the clothing, and the boy got dressed. The father and son headed back home. Back at camp, the woman really did see her son finally come back with her husband. This was the way the legend was told. When the boy grew up and lived in other camps, he would kill a big fat bear when the people became hungry. He followed the advice of his grandfather. The bear will be a good one if you get it from a den that has big, clearly visible smoke. Be sure to only go to the dens that have these types of smoke. This is what the bear had said. Translator's note: the smoke from the bear den is the steam produced by a sleeping bear that wafts out during cold winter days. That's it.
I would like to applaud. They did a really good job. That was badass.
I'm pretty good at this these days.
No, you did great. You did great.
Thanks, man.
Yes.
I think it's very interesting.
That was awesome. Yeah, and the meaning behind a lot of it, I had it in my head, and I kind of like you went on 5 minutes more, and I kind of forgot. That.
I was trying to stop a little bit.
No. I was just like I had like a meaning in my head, like oh yeah, this represents that.
I think there's numerous meanings within this story, and that's the really interesting thing is that there's a lot here, and I'm not sure any of it actually has to do with an intelligent bear.
I think it's all representation. That whole story is like about just living in the wild, almost like if that makes like the representation of like not when to go upon a bear. I mean, not even that. I mean, there's a lot of representation. I think about surviving in the wild. I couldn't tell you what though at this point. But there was that was a bad.
It's a recurring theme in history, though. I mean, looking at Romulus and Remus reared by a she-wolf and whatnot. I mean, there's something to this story where infants in the wild are protected by these intelligent creatures that when we are taught not to see them that way. Animals are creatures of spirit, more than soul, really. And some people just don't understand that language.
Sure.
How would you interpret it, Yakov? If you could, I would like to hear.
I think there are very practical lessons in that story that like are exactly what you're saying.
Break it down in both ways. I would like to hear.
To break it down, I'd have to go through it again and pick out. Points.
I mean, very basically, like if you were a grog tard, and you would pull from it.
I think there's stories about priorities. Like, yeah, it's winter and food is scarce, but your priority is to care for your loved ones first and foremost. That's the father who goes and looks for the child. I think there's things like that. I think there's a basic element of shit can happen if you're alone in the wilderness. You might disappear for a long time. I think there might be a meaning to that's beyond simply you might get lost. I think maybe it is alluding to other entities that are in the forest that aren't understood, things like that. So I think it goes on that level too.
Right.
Babies are cute. And remember that video we saw tonight of that little child, and it looked like maybe it wasn't totally used to the idea that it couldn't leave its new body. And maybe, because we're all connected ultimately through this oneness, when you have like a cute little animal, other mammals will understand that and want to nurture it because it's closer to the source of, God or whatever.
I think I got to side with the almighty science on the fact that I think a bear would be more likely to just eat a fucking baby it finds in the woods. But I do think in a freak occurrence, it could totally happen.
Doesn't
Maybe guided
do that,
by
though.
God himself. They do. They would. They have.
I think. Well, I think if a I don't know what you call it, a bear, a female bear, whatever, has the lack thereof, it would.
It's possible. I wouldn't write it off entirely, but I can find you.
I think it's happened.
Stories.
I think it has happened.
I'm not doubting that it's happened, but I bet I can find a lot more stories. Like I just found a fucking story of a bear that just took a fucking infant from its stroller while it was on a walk and ate the shit out of it.
Ate it and ate it. Yeah.
Like that shit's pretty easy to find. A lot easier to find than
did
what
it
you're
feed
talking
it
about.
to its cubs, or did it?
I think it just ripped it the fuck apart. Is what I think happened. It's probably the most
You
horrific
imagine
thing.
that, too.
Imagine fucking going for a walk in the fucking woods with your baby. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, imagine
Jesus.
walking down the street
That's
with
why
your
I
baby
carry
and
a
some
fucking-
weirdo
Imagine going to
snatches your kid up.
Detroit
Yeah.
with your baby.
Yeah. Well, there's lots. Of
Anyway,
you wouldn't want
so for me, it was like a story of the father and the child are one and the same person, and he's going on a spiritual journey to find. The father, at least, is going on a journey to find himself, his true self, after defeating his ego in the form of a bear. And that's why he carries the charm of, because the child's clothing is a charm. You keep, it's a common practice in magic to keep the belongings of a victim so that the spell works. He's trying to free his soul from what basically amounts to his mind. He goes into the dark lodge of the mind and defeats his ego.
It's
and
very
the
reminiscent of like
distractions.
Joseph
Yeah.
Campbell's like hero's journey. It's very,
Yeah.
very I can see that. I can definitely see it. And not to mention like the combination of the child and the wilderness, like that is the primal man. That is your innocence.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
It's that story merged with practical knowledge. He says clearly, "Oh, I'm going to club this. Oh, I'm going to track this." You repeat that over and over again in a rhyme like that, and
You harden the will with a mantra, sort of.
right.
Rip that dab. Rip that mantra.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about
doggone
it?
it.
I've been eating some edibles. Some shitty, inconsistent, fucking terrible Delta edibles.
Red City in the
Dude.
chat with $10 says, I've read that story before. It's fascinating hearing it as an adult. For your information, when animals are characters in an Indian story, it's a lot more accurate to think of them as spirits than literal animals. So, yeah, that's what I assumed.
Nice.
Fucking bears, dude. So we'll go from friendly bears to this
What
motherfucker bear.
if that was really his grandfather, though?
Maybe there's like
Yeah,
levels to this shit.
he
Who
was-
knows?
He was like a
Hey, Flame.
Skinwalker
I
shaman.
want you to look at this video real quick, and we'll decide if this grizzly might have been someone's grandfather.
Word.
Do they kill it?
So they just shot Grandpa.
Oh, he's fine. You'll see. He's
This is
good.
fucking
Father
lit
attempted to
grandpa.
scare a family of bears off his property by firing a warning
Oh
shot.
shit! And he's
They're
coming.
coming at him. Blast them.
Well, he
That's
could've blasted
science.
him.
You use science to kill him.
Now this is a situation where I think blasting the animal in the face was probably warranted.
Yeah.
Dude, so like, if we're ever
But
in a
check this
combat
out. Check this
situation,
shit
I want
out.
Greasy on my side,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. That bear fucking gets up and keeps coming.
Dude, is he using birdshot?
Yeah, it looks like
Jesus.
it.
My God, dude. Blast him.
Dude, that's when I would have like did VATS and like fucking. I used VATS on the fucking Yaguai.
That's why I use a samurai sword.
Alright.
That's when
Bro,
that's when
I
like
signed up
Skinwalker
for
gang
Zima.
gets into like RPG fight mode and they're like turns.
I went
Hitting
to a
him.
Zima class to learn sword fighting like 2 weeks ago, right? And it was just nothing but like libtards, man, just hedging you out if you weren't.
What was it, HEMA or was it like Asian martial arts?
No, it was HEMA, bro. I was like, this longsword. I was like, this is the final frontier. I'm a long time. I've been doing American kickboxing and Brazilian jiu-jitsu for a long time, but I always wanted to do the sword thing. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go try it out. Now I'm here in Houston, so it's
there's sword to sword Houston. There's the only option.
yeah, that's where I went. And there was no
the location in the woodlands or the other location.
I used to live in
Specific
Houston.
again.
I know where.
We're
was
gonna
off-
go learn to fucking wield long swords in Houston.
Bro, it's fun. I mean,
Yeah,
just
dude.
I've been there too.
Dude, I had a blast. I was like, I want to kick people's asses with a sword, dude. And I still want to.
That's
I
admirable.
do jiu-jitsu still, but I mean,
I like the mace.
I went there. I went there
what we
one
said about
time.
blunt weapons earlier, dude. They're so easy to use because there's not this resistance in your brain of trying to kill or not. You're just whapping.
Dude, I was fucking
Yeah.
right in the fucking cranium. Dude.
I went there and it happened one of the students happened to have a 36th birthday, and so they had all the students line up and spar with them for 36 rounds. It was fucking awesome. And one of the swords actually snapped in half. It was great.
Sick.
That's pretty goddamn
I would
cool.
love to see that.
I just
The
realized I don't have
parking
a.
is sword to sword. It's West Chase.
With some Sonic shit.
Oh yeah, that's the location 30 minutes away from me.
Bro, the parking is just terrible, man. I want to, I want to fight. Don't make me do these stupid drills. I'm ready to kick someone's ass. Stop it.
They
You
don't
need to drill,
go out
bro. You
far.
need the muscle memory.
I know. I'm just kidding, though. But I mean, seriously,
Dude,
I went
like,
to go
how
to
much
Monday and
is it
Wednesday
worth?
class, and there was nowhere to park both times, and I was like, God damn, dude, this sucks.
Yeah,
we just park at one of the condos. Nobody would know.
Yeah, well, the problem is with that is that I have I'm rolling around right now. My house is under construction, so I'm living in as you can see this curtain back here, it's like grandma's house. I'm at a corporate apartment. It's like a hotel kind of, but a little more long term. And I forgot what I was saying about that.
Let's move on. We can go on to
I'm starting to
fucking.
drunk.
I realized I didn't have an outro song ready to go, so I had to clear that up real quick. I hate that. It's a fucking peeve of mine. So I gotta.
I was jerking off this whole time you guys were talking. You guys.
You guys.
So let's talk about why Jane Goodall won't rule out the existence of Bigfoot. The world's famous she's great. The world's favorite primatologist is weighing in on the world's biggest controversy, the existence of Bigfoot, which she won't rule out. Jane Goodall told GQ, go on.
I was gonna say, isn't it like Barb Chan like ruling out like her son being a vicious predator that fucking raped her?
She ruled that out.
You
gotta wait till the court date.
I can't help it.
We gotta
Barb
wait till
Chan
the
getting
court
her
date.
ass ripped apart by a bunch of Christians.
So Jane Goodall told GQ about a time when she visited a remote village in Ecuador and asked the people if they'd ever seen a monkey without a tail. 3 of the hunters came back and said, "Oh yes, we've seen monkeys without tails. They walk upright and they're about 6 foot tall." She recalled noting that they knew nothing of Bigfoot. Every single country has its own version. Yeti, Yowie in Australia, Wild Man in China. So I don't know if it's perhaps a myth that stems from maybe the last of the Neanderthals. But then, is the last of the Neanderthals still living in these remote forests? I don't know. But I'm going to say it doesn't exist. But I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. And I'm not going to say people who believe in it are stupid, she concluded. But some of them are very, very, very stupid. That's to be expected.
It's like asking for drugs, right? Hey, you seen a monkey without no tail around here? You know what I'm saying, dog? Sorry, I had to say it. Go on. I'm sorry.
All right, I don't know. That's
You ever seen a monkey with no tail around here? You know what I'm saying?
My point is, I'd bang Jane Goodall if it meant Bigfoot was real.
Oh, dude, she'd rip your dick off with just her penis.
She's probably hardcore. She's spent a lot of time with those chimps.
Clit. She could rip it off with the pure strength alone. I bet she had sex with monkeys.
I bet she did. I bet she has a distended clitoris. I bet she's got some sort of ovipositor.
Like her clit and her shit was probably like so ravaged.
Shit.
I bet I bet it could handle so much. Like, yeah. It'd be like a coffee can at this point, but until she wanted it to not be like, yeah, you know.
Finally, something that
Matt knows what I'm saying, but he left because
I think we can wind down the recording and we can keep streaming a little bit. So yeah, yakovalive.com, motherfuckers.
No. Was there more to the story? I didn't mean to.
No, there wasn't more to the story.
Oh, fuck, my bad.
yakovalive.com, motherfuckers. At Yakov at kiwifarms.cc to catch me on the Fediverse. I'm on TikTok, Yakov Alive. Hit me up there as well. Flame.
Flame Upon Herb on Instagram, Twitter. No, it's not fucking. Got backwards. Noble Raider on Instagram, Twitter, Flame Upon Herb, and TikTok is now. I probably should name it. Yeah. I should have named it all the fucking same thing. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Lunatic Shot on TikTok.
Flame looking lean, dude. Flame's looking lean as fuck, dude. Looking good, bud.
Greasy, you got anything you want to say?
Science upon science. Suck my dick.
Science, all hail science.
I'm the science because I don't like worship like a ground entity. Suck my dick.
Ground.
All right. Mark. I gotta end this because Greasy's getting out of hand.
Fremen Jihadi on Twitter. Buy the merch.
Do it. Baron.
yakovalive.com.
Go there.
I'll give it Discord so I can show you my shirts.
Oh
And
yeah.
my TikTok.
Drop a link in the chat. Strongbeer, you wanna?
TV.
Yeah, that's what I want to go out on. I like that.
Strong beer's the shit. I like strong beer.
He's great.
Please have him back.
He's very interesting, and I fucking.
I love. He should be around more often.
He knows where to find us. So with that, I think I'm gonna play us the fuck out with some Wasp. Because what better? What better?
Let's go.
Science! I believe in science!
Shut the fuck up, Greasy! God.